Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday night Christmas takeaway show. Hope you've had a good weekend. It's a bit blustery out there at the moment, but other than that, I hope you've had a good weekend. I know some of the results weren't too good for some of us, but let's see what tonight brings. You never know. Father Christmas because bring some 3 points of much-needed teams over the weekend and what's coming up for Boxing Day. So on that note, good evening, Fuzzy. How are we?
Fucking wank. Absolutely wank. So bad that I've gone off the chocolate milk. There is no pint glass of chocolate milk outside here. So it's a proper desperate setting. So yeah, here's to hoping that a new manager bounce Wolverhampton Wanderers don't smash us at the Molineux on Boxing Day. So the only thing I've got to look forward to is Christmas dinner, some presents, and some time off of work. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, wow. How are we, Jez?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, what could be better? Arsenal beat Palace 5-1 and Liverpool beat Spurs, putting 6 past them. So it's a great weekend for me. I can tell you that. Can't make it up, really, can you?
This is true. Absolutely agree on that one. James, good evening, mate. Thanks for being on the show as well.
No,
how are you, mate?
Oh, good, mate. All good. Santa's coming to town, I'm looking forward to it. So, you know what I mean? And I've got my. If it gets to a bit rowdy, I've got my whiskey here just in case. You know what I mean? If it goes on to an all-night after hours one, so yeah, I'm here.
Nice.
How you doing, Coke? Yummy.
Nice. Very nice. Let's just catch up with the people in the chat because I know there's a few messages already. Good evening to Matt, first of all. Man United and Spurs getting battered everywhere they go. And laughing his head off. Also, Leicester and Ipswich and recently Man City. Wow. Evening, Henry. Good evening to you, Tony Anthony, Old Fuzz. And not so hot, I guess. And they're saying like the Java. And Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to everyone, whoever you support. Good wins for Wolves and Bournemouth today. Some interesting results there was. What a day for football. Well, unless you're a Spurs fan, obviously. And obviously a Man United fan. I'm telling you, Amin won't make it to the new year if he ain't careful. And the Betts also follows up and says, maybe West Ham dodged a bullet, not hiring him.
Good point.
Every cloud and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, 2 years, within 2 years, you get them fighting for the league, mate. Like, it's just because he ain't got their own players at the minute.
We need the open heart surgery. Ralph called it 3 years ago, like over 3 years ago now. He's still right to this day, spot on. Open heart surgery, get this guy all of the players he needs, get that toxic squad out of here. Man, some of those players, I mean, Rashford today, again, not in the squad. Guys, I think they're trying to force him out in January. Almost certain of it. Because he's fit. He's fully fit for this game. No sign of him. And good, to be honest.
Don't give him to us, please.
Oh no, we've already got the address written out to be delivered. Express delivery in time for Christmas.
There you go. Look, even Matt saying it as well, Jez. Look, once again, no trash for United. I'm telling you, he's off to Anthony's Arsenal and yours as well.
Make it happen, please.
No.
Merry Christmas and ho 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 and all that stuff. Dear. Until there's a clue out of United, they'll be shite. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
They will need a massive rebuild. I think we already know that Man United definitely need that. But I suppose the other one we've got to look on the weekend again was in Man City. What the hell's going on there?
Shame, isn't it? Real shame.
I think they're all realising that the team's not as good as what he thought it was at the start. But January's coming. If they go out and start spending some money, they might finish fourth. So,
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Did any of you watch the game?
What, the Villa one?
No, yeah, against City. I mean,
I didn't watch the Villa one. I watched the Liverpool Tottenham one today. That was a bit mental.
oh, the City played, and to me, it just seemed like they were just going through the motions.
Hmm.
Let's bring this man in and that, and maybe he's crying into his cup of tea at the moment. But good evening, Jose.
Hello.
How are you,
Hello,
mate?
crying buddy. It's okay, Jose.
It's what, mate?
Have a hug. Let's have a hug. We lose together. All together.
I saw the comments in the chat and I thought I better come on.
Oh man! I was just saying about the City game. I don't know if you watched it, Jose. I mean, to me, it just seemed these City players are. I don't know if they're not playing for the manager, or it just seemed they were just going through the motions. Because there was one bit where I think there was 3 or 4 defenders, and they just let them run through them as if they weren't there.
When you're saying City, you're talking about Man City?
Yeah, Man City. Yeah.
If Haaland played for any other team in the Premiership, Haaland would have 30 goals already by now. Man City just don't use him.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. They never put him in. If he played for any other side in the Premiership,
Even the usual.
you'd have 30 goals from him already by now. It's just that they don't think to feed him. All this tippy-tappy in football that they do, they don't use him at all, ever. I mean, I think, didn't he start with a glut of goals at the start of the season? And Salah's the top goal scorer now.
Yeah.
So there goes his glut of goals.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because when you see City how they first started off, they looked hungry. And then I don't know what's gone on from that point onwards, but they've just definitely gone down on it. Also, West Ham have been linked with Ziyech now. He's 31, so nope, need another youngster. Bloody hell.
He is young.
Yeah, for us, I suppose for West Ham, he is young at 31. Yeah,
emerging talent.
Oh, dear.
because I don't know about you. I mean, what I saw in the highlights, Fulkrug looked well. Yeah, he looked well off the pace.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Yesterday's game, you know what? People had the ump yesterday about the result. I'm not. Brighton are a good side. Do you know what I mean? They're no mugs. They know how to win games. And listen, we got away with it, but one beating them 3. We've got to start. It just seems like I don't know what the fan base want at West Ham at the minute. I really don't. I think they want it all instant. Like we're just going to turn up, play good football, look good, win or lose, and all this game. It doesn't work like that. In any form of work or life, things take time, and you have to learn from them. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a good result yesterday for us, I think.
Yeah, I'll take. I mean, like, at the end of the day, as you said, Brighton and that they've always been our bogey side, haven't they? Don't seem to kind of get much out of them to get a point. You'll take that rather than no points. And what's that now? 5 now in the last 3 games.
5 points, 3 games. Southampton on Boxing Day, then you got Liverpool. You know what I mean? But the Liverpool's a free hit. If you go and beat Southampton on Boxing Day, you can treat the Liverpool game like a free hit, and whatever happens on there. It's
true.
like knowing us though, we'll probably lose against Southampton and then get a draw or something against Liverpool. It's just it's just West Ham way, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying?
And for Jez, I mean, it must be weird. Jesus can't hit the barn door for nothing, and then suddenly against Palace, he suddenly finds form. You happy with Jesus the way he's starting so far?
Me,
The last couple of games, I think you'd rather play Palace every week now, wouldn't you?
well, it's a surprise. It is a surprise. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've berated him and said, he's just not there. But how long is it going to last? Fair play. It's a resurgence in what he's done. 5 goals, 2 games. Nearly got another hat trick yesterday. When that game was going on, I thought, I honestly don't know. Whenever I've never seen it, I can remember an Arsenal player scoring back-to-back hat tricks. So I googled it, and it never has happened. So he was in the shout of it, man. He was in the shout, and I'm sad to say that he didn't get it. Because I'd have said, "Well, bloody fair play, mate." Will he continue on this sort of level? I hope so. I hope he does, but I'm not convinced. I'll be honest with you. I'm not convinced. But I will say I was impressed that Arteta started him, because normally we all know the Arteta way, mate. You score a hat trick and then you're benched.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
He did. He started him and bang, bang, 2 goals like that. Well, first goal, equaliser from them, then another goal. So respect, mate, and long may it continue. We need it. We need it. We need a goal scorer.
Well, consider now you've got Saka injured for, I don't know how long for. Actually, he came off on crutches, didn't he, on the game?
Saka, yeah. He's going to be out of what? Hamstring. Don't know how bad it is. But we probably won't be seeing him any time before the end of January, I'd have thought.
It's a minimum of 2 months.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how bad it is. It could be a tweak.
You've got a bit. You stand right distance at the moment, Jose.
Sorry, I was saying
That's
I think it'll be a minimum of 2 months. I think he's torn his hamstring. I don't think it's just a tweak. I think he's torn it.
He was on crutches, wasn't he, as well? That's the one, isn't it? That's the
Usually you
worst.
see things like that with Saka, and he will be back in training the next morning, running faster and harder than everyone else.
Arteta
I'm ready
dark
to go,
arts.
boss. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's the Arteta dark arts. Let's just make him look like he's injured. Big up to Yeti as well. Everyone will finish above United apart from Southampton.
Never say never.
God dear me. Are you guys all ready for Christmas?
Pretty much, mate. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I've only really got one present to get, and that's all. And we're all set.
Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Shell's an off day today, but I do think they will get it eventually. Yeah. They're due one, I suppose, aren't they? Good evening to Carl as well. Good to see you. And everyone in the chat,
Carl.
thanks for being with us.
That's cool.
Chelsea should have won. Just for the gifted membership, whoever that was. I think it might have been Henry, I think. Sad thing though, Michael will be top by then. Forest, I mean, look at Forest. I mean, at the end of the day, and that, this is third in the table, and rightly so.
Yeah, we're never going to hear the end of it, unfortunately, from a certain person. You know what I mean? He started last night, mate, on the final whistle stream. It was like, how many stars have you got, Jez? We got 2 stars. And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go again. Here we go again.
Does love reminding you. Salah signed a new deal, hasn't? Did he sign a new contract for Liverpool?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he has.
No, he hasn't.
They're trying to negotiate, but I think Salah's sort of like waiting for a contract that sort of meets his terms, and Liverpool aren't really budging on it. So that's where the quote came from. There, he's feeling like he's more out than in with Liverpool.
He'd be off to Saudi in the summer.
Maybe playing for a team that's got Rashford on the left hand side while he plays on the right.
Oh, yeah.
And Bruno in the midfield.
Wow. But Matt thinks he might go to Madrid and team up with Mbappe and Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. Cool. You think that'd happen? Nah, I don't think so. Get his final pay deal. Saudi, I think that'll be the one. Even Steve Bell, good to see you, even all. Yeah, look, he hates Madrid after what Ramos did to him in 2018. There you go, so that says it all. And Michael Chelsea saying Premier League, Chelsea, Champions League, Inter Milan, FA Cup, Man City, some of my predictions for 2025. Do you guys agree on that? Hey, Jose, straight away, look.
I don't know. He's been smoking, I think, on all 3 counts.
Liverpool, I reckon Liverpool win the League Cup. I think they'll win the League Cup.
He hasn't got the League Cup in. He's only got the Premier League, Champions League, and FA Cup.
FA Cup. Do you know what? I actually think Arsenal might win the FA Cup. You know, Don't know why. It's got a feeling Arsenal might do it. I think they get past. Well, Arsenal, if they get past Man United, which I expect them to
Already
do, I think,
past them.
yeah. Well,
This point.
I just think Arsenal could get to at least a semi-final, and if they're in a semi-final, you just never know. The league is Liverpool's, mate. They're going to win the league, comfortable. I reckon. They're just too good.
Great.
And then you got the Champions League.
Liverpool double.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Surprise me, Liverpool.
Madrid are not really consistent enough to be beating top
Bayern?
teams in the knockout.
Maybe. There's a shout.
Uh,
Bayern Munich playing well. Kane up front. Elise playing well. It's a shout. But I can't really see anyone else in there, really. Like who stands out, who goes, you know what, yeah, they look like the real deal other than Liverpool to a point.
Real Madrid will have
Goodness.
all their players fit second half of the season.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's the only thing, yeah.
they keep Vinicius fit, then yeah, their attack will be very, very dangerous.
Be interesting. Ignatius as well. Finally, 4 minutes late. What's he wanting here? Time at the chip shop. Yeah, you know, the queue's long. The queue's long. Ford Arteta lives to fight another day for now. Well, 5 years in charge, so if she, you know, as you said, better things are still to come, according to him.
If he wins that League Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it, he'll be here. And I'll tell you what, right now, if he gets top 4, right, he'll still be here.
What did you make of his comments the other day, Jez? Of he classes the. I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want an outburst of that. You know what I mean? But I thought, right, that's the perfect time to get in there now. The Community Shield as a trophy.
No, the thing is, mate, I summed it up. I did a show about, well, not just about that, but I did a show, and you know, the clues in the word, right? Trophy is a cup. The shield is a bloody dinner plate, which you cut your bloody roast beef on, right?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty obvious clue there, really, that Mr. Arteta, the Community Shield, right, is a community charity shield.
Yeah.
Right? A trophy is a cup. So I actually said this to Kenny Ken on the stream. Was he taking the piss there, or was he serious? And a lot of people have come out and said they think he was actually serious.
I think he was, you know.
He was serious because on TalkSport you had Darren Bent and Andy Goldstein, and Darren Bent came out with, you know, he's joking and that, and Andy Goldstein straight away in that, no, and he must have played the clip a good 6 times. He said, look, yeah, there's no way he's laughing about that, you know. He meant that, you know, meaning the other 2 cups as well. Jesus,
Desperation, mate, under pressure. That's what that is.
Do you know what it is, right, with Arteta? The reason why he's backtracking, because if Slot comes in and wins the league in his first season, with a Liverpool side that hasn't had half as much spent on it to what Arsenal have, then that's a major problem. Right, because Slot, when people looked at the Premier League at the start of the season, no one thought Liverpool would be anywhere near it. Well, a lot of the scousers were turning around and saying if they can get in the top 4, they're happy with that for the first season, because they knew it was going to be a transitional season. But on this one, I just think they've kicked into gear. I think, have they kicked into gear, or have a lot of other teams been crap? I think it's a bit of both. Like, City ain't the City or what they once were. Arsenal not the same side. Chelsea have got better, but I think Chelsea in big games against big sides like the Big 6, that's where Chelsea will fade away. I think because they need to go. If they need to go to City and win, or they need to go to Arsenal and win, they need to win them games rather than draw them or lose them. Do you know what I mean? So it's okay beating the rest, and that's what it is really. Like when it comes to Slot, I think he's just basically not lost against the big sides and beat the rest.
Yeah, but when Slot come in, they've not bought anyone because they haven't needed to. Klopp left a healthy club behind. He left a healthy squad behind. You know, at the end of the day, they've refreshed their strikers in the last couple of years. In the last 3 to 4 years, they refreshed their midfield.
Yeah.
You know, they refreshed where they had to. They've churned the players out, and he left a really good squad there, and that's why he didn't have to go and buy anything. He only bought Chiesa in on a free, didn't he? And that was it. Other than
Yeah,
that, he
but
didn't do nothing else.
I still think he's still got to try and get his point across, though, isn't he? Like, do you know what I mean? I know he's left a good side there, Klopp, but when a new voice comes in, it's a different attitude, isn't it, to the one that they previously had? Because like the other manager that they previously had in Klopp, they looked at him as someone who they're grown up with. Some of them players have grown up with him from the youth set up all the way through to the present day. And when Slot comes in, with any manager, it's like Almiron right now with Man United. Like, I know it's not the same sort of comparison, but I do believe in 2 years when he starts getting his own team together, Man United will be up there challenging for the league. And when I look at Slot, I think he's come into something. Premier League, he's adapted to the Premier League quickly. One thing I like about him is he's got a plan A, B, and C. If it ain't working on the first one, where too many managers currently right now have got plan A. If that don't work, they continue with plan A. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, I think he's a good manager. You do.
But a lot of teams were looking at Slot, and because of his coaching, his talent ID, and stuff like that. I just think that, although I understand your point, I think to myself that when you've got a mature squad that Liverpool have got, right, any manager that comes into that squad, it ain't going to take them long to pick up the reins and get them playing again, you know, because he's tweaked the system ever so slightly, still using all the same players and that. He's just tweaked it ever so slightly. That's all. And I just think that he's walked into a really, really good squad. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it's his first time in the Premiership, and he hasn't started badly, has he?
No, not at all. I think everyone was surprised by it. I think the way he's came in, because he seemed just calm and cool in what he does. He walks, like, even with the post-match games, you see him come walking over to the commentators, says what he says, just kind of walks away off nice and gently, and that's it, job done. So,
he knows how to grind results out of them, mate. That's the only thing.
Yeah, you got to give that. Got to give that.
I also agree with you with Amorim, though. I agree with you with Amorim. Amorim's a top coach.
Yeah.
Coach-wise, he is a top coach, and Amorim will. Amorim, if he gets given his chance to refresh the squad, because to refresh you're going to have to spend money, but then also sell players to try and bring money into the club as well. And given, you give him 4 transfer windows, and Man United will be different to what they are now.
The thing is, with Almiron, he won't have to spend big. That's one thing with the guys. His talent ID is very, very good. You've only got to look at Gyökeres. He was at Coventry City. They ID'd him. They got him to Sporting Lisbon with a few other players. They've even got Sebastian Coates, is it? Uruguayan.
Quartes, yes.
Quartes. Ex-Liverpool. Ex-Liverpool. Didn't really get looking at Liverpool. Went to Sporting. So he knows how to get players for cheap, but develop them over a period of time. And Man United's academy ain't a bad academy to have. Like, they've got some decent players in their academy currently. So, you know, in 2 years, I've had a bet with one of my mates, a Man United fan. He reckons no. I reckon yeah. I reckon within 2 years they're challenging for the league. I reckon they will use this season as a season of, like, this will be a dead season. I think next season, like this summer coming, they will go out, they will spend, they will integrate the style next year, and the year after that they will attack it from then. If I'm being honest,
the only thing that I've got any issue with over the next few months towards the end of the season is what the British media are going to do with Ruben Amorim, because there's one thing that you know about managers, that usually you need to give them time, a bit of patience, just to sort of let them bed themselves in, get their ideas across, and then sort of build a team and build an ethos with the club. But there's constantly, from all angles, you've got media saying that the manager isn't good enough because he hasn't won game after game after game instantly with the Man United side, which is tried and tested with being mediocre. That we're just going to get towards the end of the season, and straight away everyone's going to be saying, "Oh well, why should we back this manager? Because you can't get the best out of the players that are here. It's just the same old treatment of managers, whether they're good or bad. Same old treatment from the media, and then the fans buy into what the media say, and then we go back to square one, where we're all saying, "Oh, I think we should sack the manager and get somebody else in, and then back them." But it's just like I've got concerns. I've got massive concerns, not about Amarin, but about how he's going to end up getting treated in the next few months.
The media as usual. Good evening, Jay. Welcome back into the chat. Welcome in, mate, on the panel. How are you?
I'm really good. Evening to everyone else as well.
Evening, Matt. Evening. I like the holly in your hair.
Yeah, well, last time Tony came on with me, he was all tighted up. He had all his background bit. I said, "All right, mate, that's all right. Next time I'm going to have it with you." So I thought, he ain't going to beat this, is he? With his floppy hat. Good to be here anyway.
Yeah, got me on the Falls and Horses Christmas jumper on, though, so I got that one on. Michael Chelsea saying the Spuds fans only live in London. Jose doesn't, I know that. The newfound South Korean fan base will leave when Son does.
Now we've got a new South Korean that just came through the door as well. And it was 18-year-old Hung Min Hak. He can't play till the 1st of January, but we bought him from, and he's going to be the new cash cow. He'll be the new South Korean cash cow.
Wow.
So he will bring all them. He'll bring all them pound notes into Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which Levy and Enoch will gobble up and spend on the enterprises rather than the football club.
Right, Sam.
He's frozen. Oh, I say he's alive. I say he's froze.
I didn't even realise I came on there. You'll do it. Right.
Oh, good yourself.
Like they weren't doing anything suspect there, eh?
How are you? Good?
Yeah, I'm all good. All set for Christmas. I bet you are as well.
Pretty much, mate. I haven't got to get it. Is the wife's, was it tomorrow, going to get all the veg? But it's easy. Well, she's not here. She's at work. She works at Waitrose, so that's not a problem. Yet she was moaning about it when she went to work tonight. Oh, Christ, I've got to go and get all their bloody veg and this, that, and the other. I said, well, you bloody work there. I said, the thing is, it's all coming in fresh tonight, as you told me, on the lorries. So I said, just put it in the bloody bag, whatever. And I said, and pay for it in the morning. I said, it's not exactly hard work, is it? Oh, it's easy for you. I'm like, oh, yeah.
She's definitely swindled away a few things, Jess. You know it. You know what I mean? She's definitely had something under the counter. You know, 100%, mate. Yeah, I mean, any whiskey or drink that she's had, you know full well that you come home we've had like a new cupboard full of alcohol. Yeah, that'll be for you, son. So, you know.
The thing is, though, mate, it depends if Waitrose are doing a deal, because we had to get ours yesterday, and Tesco's were doing their veg for 15 pence. Asda's advertised it at 10 pence. So
Aldi's are doing it, and Lidl's are doing it for 9 pence.
9 pence.
Everyone's come down. I think Tesco's last year was 19 pence. They've come down to 15. Marx's last year was 49 pence for their stuff.
Mate, do you know, I won't lie about this, right? I can't remember the last time I went any food shopping. No, that's not true. I did go to the butcher the other day and get a ham, and I did that Friday night with using the old Gordon Ramsay recipe, right? But hey, this will make you laugh, right? I said to her, I do one every year, right? And we've got one of these steel pots like this, yeah? And I said, every year it's a bloody pain in the arse. It's not big enough to get a decent ham in there. Bearing in mind, we got a house full on Christmas Day, right? I said, I'll buy a new one. So I went on Amazon, right? And I said, yeah, that looks like a good one. I read the reviews, and it was 36 quid. And so I said, yeah, I'll buy that. And it was next day delivery. And she said, well, you know, because when I cook, when I boil them, whatever you do, it's leeks in there, onions, carrots, all that dramas, yeah. 3 hours, job done, leave it overnight. Next day, away you go, do what you got to do. Anyway, this fucking thing turned up, right? Knock on the door, Amazon man, bloody great box. I thought, oh, they've got OTT again. Well, this thing, right, I swear to God, it stands. It's 20 litre capacity, right?
Are you sure you didn't do a cauldron?
It's a fucking witch's cauldron, yeah.
It's like massive. And I thought, all right, so I did it all, what you got to do with it, wash it out and oil it and all that bollocks. So when I went and got the ham on Friday, yeah, I thought, no problem here. When I put the ham with water in it and all the other bits and bobs, I thought, it looks like a poxy mushroom in there. Like, this thing is enormous. And to heat it up is like, fucking hell. It takes forever. And
Preheat for 3 days.
yeah, it's still going now, mate. It's still going now.
I think he's right. He was a cauldron by the sounds of it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's me being a dick as usual.
Big up to Mason Aldridge. Yes, hope you're all well. Just dropping in, hoping you all have a good Christmas. Same for you as well, Mason. Have a good
Same
one
to you,
as well,
mate.
Have a good one as well. It's a West Ham household tonight, look.
The...
Good evening, Mr. Gates. How are we?
I'm all right. How are you?
We're all good. We're all
Evening.
good. Enjoying this Christmas festivities. Jez, you seen that picture behind him?
What?
He doesn't like being reminded. That's what it is.
What? We won a European trophy?
Oh no, the other one with the one over to your left.
Oh, that one.
That one. Yeah, that one.
Oh dear. What, was you there?
I was there, yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Got the programme set over there, mate. Did a show about my FA Cup final programmes. And how that programme has survived all these years, I do not know. But yeah. Bad day out for me. Never recovered.
I've just seen it. I'll quickly flash this out, but it's not exactly the right one to have up there. Terence asking, do Palestinians hate Spurs as much as the rest of London? Wow. Jesus Christ.
Political.
Yeah, that's why it's up quick and done. Sam is already in with us now. He's finally here. He's finally here. Yeah, exactly. You can't be saying that. So that's what, yeah. I think Terence
Can't be saying that,
realises.
but you did say it and you did put it up.
Quick and out of the way. We've done and dusted.
There you go. Fill your boots. Have a
Oh,
laugh.
nice.
There you go. Look.
Well, if you don't want it, I'll take it off your hands. Not a problem. I'll even do it free of charge. How's that?
Cheers, mate.
I'm all part.
Even got my ticket in here somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Good evening, Colin.
Maybe Colin.
Yeah, like even Matt was saying about you, James. Yeah, I've taken the draw with Brighton before yesterday. Got to do that with me. Yeah, he's saying interesting that Kudos doesn't like Loppy, but keeps him in a job. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Mate. But some of them keeps him in a job, doesn't he?
One more week.
The head or something, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not just watching Kudus' body language. And I mean, obviously, he made a comment yesterday, but that's the first time he's actually kind of spoke up about it. Because for me, I don't know. I just think he wants to kind of get out of here while this bloke's in charge. But I could be wrong.
You noticed it when he came off against the ball. When he came off against Bournemouth, he was furious, arms up in the air, kicking balls. He was not happy.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
And then what confused me was Paqueta. I thought Paqueta didn't like him, but when he scored the penalty, he ran out.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Showing signs of solidarity. There's a time and a place, but I don't know if that was it. Really, I must admit. JB saying our fan base wanted Ruud van Nistelrooy 2 weeks back. Now Leicester fans are booing him and the team. Just back the lobster till summer and see where we're at. We need a shake-up. Antonio Ings off the bill, etc. Agree on that.
We need to get rid of the fucking owner.
Like more of a team.
We need to get rid of the owner and we'll be fine. Trust me. Yeah, I mean, that's the real problem at our club. So any
That's not
manager
going to
comes in.
change anytime soon, though, is it? Let's be completely honest.
No.
Maybe if we stuck to it. I see something earlier on, and like with Spurs fans protesting against Levy, we don't do it enough. We only do it when we want something, and then when we get what we want, we go quiet again. Like it happened last year at Forest away when we lost the game, and basically there was GSB banners coming out all the time. Them GSB banners should be out all the time, not just like one game just to try and get the ex-manager out. Do you know what I mean? If you don't listen, at the end of the day, Lopetegui's out of his depth, and we all know it. He's out of his depth, but we just got to go through it until Sullivan says otherwise. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, we have to lose games, have to consistently keep losing games before the old timer wakes up and realises that he's got to go. Do you know what I mean? So
It'd have to be a real threat of a relegation battle, wouldn't
no, what it is, you hit him in the financially, but the problem is he's got it sewn up at the LS now with the fans.
it? It won't
And-
happen.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like he don't rely on the old school anymore. He relies on the everyday fan to turn up, and it proved it the other week against Arsenal when you got away fans in the home end.
Yeah,
So
tourists.
you know, so that's the real problem at West Ham is him. It always will be.
I think there's
Oh,
someone
you
there.
alright?
I think
You
there's someone
turned
there.
up.
Just
All
about
right,
to see him
everyone.
in the
All
dark.
right,
In
geezer.
the dark.
I'm in the dark. My little man's asleep next to me, and I've got man flu.
Oh,
Jay and Sam voted for me not
Yeah.
to come on. They reckon I'm an embarrassment to the show. So they don't. I remember.
Can't do the comments here, bruv.
I hope you're all good, everyone.
Yeah, all good. I hope you speedy recovery for you as well, though, Louis.
Now, then at least I get
Oh,
something
Lewis
to
has
fill the other
Jay
channel.
called you.
Was that so? Oh, that was well funny. Yeah, you thought it was me
Oh,
boy. I said I spoke to Tony. I was like, look, it'll just be me and Sam because Louis sick. He sent me a message back. I hope your boy's all right, Jay. I said, yeah, he calls me the daddy, but it's not my actual son. It's Louis that's sick. Oh,
I mean, it's quite interesting going on that comment because you've got to think Arteta's obviously 5 years in, you know, and got a result. You've got Amorim coming in at Man United, and obviously he's got a tough battle. What's happening with Ange, Jose? I mean, they're still sticking faith with him, or
It's interesting because on social media, they're all against him on social media. So if you look at YouTube channels, not saying all of them, but quite a few are against him. You look on Twitter, there's a big brigade on Twitter. It's about 60-40, 40-60, I'd say, that want him out on Twitter. But then I went out last weekend and I met up with, there's about 40 of us that met up that all grew up together as youngsters in London. Support all teams, your Chelsea's, your Arsenal's, West Ham, support all sorts of teams. And speaking to a lot of the boys, they don't come on social media and stuff like that. And to hear what they think of their managers at their respective clubs, it's a world away of what we are here on social media. I think he's whoever came in after Conte was always going to have the impossible job. But what Ange has done, Conte, where he played his football at the end of the spectrum, Ange has come in and he's at this end of the spectrum. And what you need somewhere halfway house in between. So I think whoever came in after Conte was on hiding to nothing. I think he will. I think Tottenham will still back him. The hierarchy will still back him at the moment, but there is a lot of noise beginning to pick up at the stadium again against the owner. And generally, when that happens, the owner gets rid of the manager because he can't handle the flag, and he turns up all the music full pelt, so you can't hear the singing in the stadium at the end of the game and that against the board. I think they'll stick with the manager. I think they'll stick with him for the time being. And when he does end up leaving, I think the club, or playing wise, in the club will be in a better state for the next man that comes in than what it was when Conte left.
Can you get rid of your manager anytime soon? And can we have him?
I'd take him in heartbeat,
I'll
wouldn't you?
fucking have him. I'll go to the Tottenham games and boo him every game if it helps.
But I don't want Lopetegui though.
No,
Mate, no
fucking
one wants Lopetegui.
Getafe
No one.
don't even want Lopetegui.
Out of all the Spanish managers West Ham could have got, they went for Lopetegui.
We
Oh,
get the equivalent of David Moyes. Out of all the Spanish managers, we get the one who's practically Scottish. It's unbelievable.
Practically Scottish.
Oh, mate, nobody against Scottish. I'm talking about Moisey there as well. Not against all Scots, but yeah, no, yeah. I don't know if you sort of spoke about the game, but
David Moisetegi.
David Moisetegi, yeah.
Moisetegi, yes, absolutely. Oh, mate.
And welcome to Matty from Up the Cherries and All Departments. How are we doing, Matty?
Yeah, all good, guys. Yeah, hope you're well.
All good, mate. And if you look, we're quite
mate.
clever here because we've got you down on the bottom ranks and Fuzzy up the top there, and there's no arguing between the two of you. Keep your distance away from each other.
I think you need to swap us over. I think I should be at the top there, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that.
We've got to make him feel good at least, haven't we? So we'll elevate him up at the top for the time being.
Jez and Matt are the only two that deserve to be at the top. The rest of us all down the bottom, haven't we?
Should have just two big panels of just Tony and Jez, and then everyone else is
And
just
all the
the
minions,
tiniest
yeah, down the bottom.
on the bottom.
Oh man, Rob, did you go to the game?
What, yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday's game. Did you go?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
What did you make of it being there?
Given the way that the second half panned out, I think we got a point, and I'm happy with it, to be honest, because I think it could have been so different. But I know Fabianski made a big fuck up for the goal, but he made a couple of good saves as well. Wan-Bissaka was really good. Defensively, I think we did sort of like, we were quite sort of organised and resolute. I'm still not too sure about who to partner Kilman, though, to be perfectly honest with you. I look at Mavropanos, he's got a mistake in him. I'm looking at Todibo, and I don't think he looks significantly better, to be honest with you. So it's like, I'm not too sure who's the better of the two options, really. But I'd take a point. I mean, look, we've struggled against Brighton by and large since they got promoted to the top flight.
True.
So to take a point, okay, you'd have preferred 3, but yeah, okay, we'll take it.
No, I'll take that. I agree with that.
Atmosphere was shit, though. I will say that. Atmosphere was flat as a pancake. Fucking crap.
Were the seats filled, though? Because I know when Budgie went to the last one, he said there was spaces in between. I know it was a midweek game, and he said the spaces are unbelievable in between.
There were spaces around me. I can tell you that for absolutely certain. But it's really a chore, because you sort of like, you're standing up, you're trying to get a chant going. You're sort of like, you're singing Bubbles, you're singing We Are West Ham's Claret Blue Army, whatever. And you're the only fucker that stood there sort of like trying to get a little bit of an atmosphere going, standing up, sort of chanting away. And everybody's looking at you like, do you mind sitting down, mate? Sort of like, you're causing a bit of a noise here, sort of thing. I'm like, what, we in a fucking library or something? It's ridiculous.
That's modern football, though, mate.
I know, it is.
That's your
franchise football, that is.
Yeah, your customers.
That's the one.
Totally agree on that, James. Yeah, totally agree on that.
And the fear is with that, with what Rob's just said, is in 5 years, a lot of the hardcore will have enough of it and walk away, and it'll be just a ground for the football fans and not supporters. And that's the way the away following is better. I speak to a lot of fans who go away quite a lot, and they love it. Like they'd rather go away than go at home.
I totally agree with you on that. 1 billion%. I totally agree with you. I mean, I've never liked the Emirates, right? And I gave up my season ticket 2016. I got so pissed off of it. And the few games I've been to since I gave my ticket up, right? I got the right ump, right? I went with a mate, yeah, and I've told this story before. Maybe not to you boys. We're there in the North Bank, right? Not far from where I used to have my ticket, my seat, right? And we're there having we'd had a few beers, we're having a good old banter, having a laugh and everything like that. And we're giving it all the large one. And you know what it's like when you're at grounds, you probably swear maybe a little bit more than you would normally do. And sat behind me, right, yeah, was this woman with her 2 kids, right? Yeah, you know, and I'm like, whatever, I didn't notice. And I'm chatting with my mates, we're giving it all a big one. This is before the game started, by the way, giving it all a big one. And she taps me on the shoulder. And I went, right. And she went, in a very, very posh accent, she said, excuse me, would you mind not swearing so much? I'm with my children. And I fucking turned around and I looked at her and these 2 kids, you know, very well, very smartly dressed, like everything like that.
Tarquin and Giles.
The little girl, she was about 11, looked like she'd just come back from horse riding, right? Yeah. You can imagine her on a country estate jogging about on her horse. And I looked at this woman, I said, you're at a fucking football match, love. Fuck off. Like that. Right? And like I shouldn't have said that. I get it. Anyway, she got up. Next thing I've got a steward right in front of me, right? And he's gone, we've had a complaint. And I said, what, from the silly tart behind me? And he went, well, you need to keep it down a bit. I said, fuck off, mate. I said, I've been coming to Arsenal since 1968 as a kid. So if you don't like it, maybe you need to move up to an executive box. I thought, what is going on here? Yeah, I go, okay. Yeah, I wasn't using anything bad words, but you know what I mean, right? But it's part of, you know, when you're at the ground with your mates and
of course it is. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
The thing is, Des, yeah, you're passionate like a lot of everyone else who's here. Yeah, whatever club you support, and when you are showing passion, they don't like it. But it's hard when you're like a franchise club, like a Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool. You might have a handful of them who get the atmosphere going, and it builds it up for everyone else. The problem with West Ham currently right now is we've got a lot of our old school fans who don't go, and you're filling it with people that are day trippers or football fans, not West Ham fans. And the thing is, no one's going to get up and sing if they don't feel it in the art of being a West Ham fan. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where the problem is at the minute. And ever since Sullivan took us to there, that's where it's all gone wrong, if I'm being honest.
I mean, funny Jez saying about, like, you know, being the woman that she was. I mean, back in the day, and that when we got, you know, we was in the old lowly Div 2 and that, go to watch at Oxford and that, and all of a sudden think yourself, it ain't fucking raining, but I can hear water. And then look over 2 rows behind me, there's some bloke with his fucking cock hanging there, just having a piss in front of everyone.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the West Ham way.
Yeah, I think if you're taking kids to the football and you don't want to hear swearing, piss off to the family enclosure. That's what it's there for.
Well, if the kids don't hear swearing, you might
still get it in there from the kids
at home, didn't they?
Exactly, Lou. That's it. Exactly that.
Fucking them fend for themselves. Give them a fucking tent and go on. You don't hear swears. Fucking joke. I would have told that old bag, I'd have gone, get on the Northern Line. There's 2 fucking cricket stadiums at fucking South London. Why you go take them some fucking cricket? Oh.
I remember my old job. I used to go get on with a bloke. He was a Cardiff fan, and he got me into the game. And they was playing Millwall. I mean, if you're talking about swearing, and also like coming from people like us, I'm looking at these 14-year-old girls who's 2 rows in front of me, and that. The words coming out their mouths, and also they're worried about just saying that. Sorry, that just says it all. Daz is asking the West Ham lot, do you think we'll get a result on Boxing Day?
Yeah. The way it rolls around, because I think we've been lucky. Well, you can't say lucky, but you've had Fabianski made some good saves against Brighton. Probably our man of the match against Bournemouth. But we've got lucky against Wolves with the 2 penalty appeals. I think we'll beat Southampton and then get trolloped by Liverpool and City. Start around again.
Back to normal, basically.
The worst thing is, Sam, City can't even win a raffle, but they do us 6-0. They fucking do us 6-0.
Striker ain't scored all season. He'll come and play us and score 2.
Oh, Rodri would be fucking magically fit, won't he?
Yeah, they bring more out the woodwork. Just
On,
gotta,
on a losing run, hold my beer. Here comes West Ham. We'll save you.
Unless you need Manchester United, then we'll just lose.
New manager, isn't it? New manager at first home game. Ain't going to be easy. We've all been there before.
yeah, that's true. That is very true. Just going to go back to Anthony's comment. Big up, lads. Went to take my little boy to see Santa today. What a miserable bastard. He had his glasses on. I said, Jez, is that you? He said, yup. On a good note, Merry Christmas, Jez.
There's a problem there, though, Anthony. Right? Your son's 20 fucking 4.
Oh, don't. I can tell you a story, actually.
Santa, your son or you?
I used to play Santa years ago. This is absolutely true, right? It was to do with my kids' primary school. Some reason they sort of said, "Oh, we reckon you'd be a good Santa." I'm like, "Well, okay, whatever." And I remember the first year I did it. I'm letting all these kids are coming in, usual sort of age, 6, 7, whatever. You give them the old, have you been a good boy and all that shit. This fella walks in. I'm looking and I'm thinking, he looks a bit old. I thought, well, fuck it. He's paid his money, so I'm going to give him the Santa sort of treatment, if you will. And sat him down, and we're sort of doing the usual sort of bits and pieces. And he turned around and he said, I'd like a girlfriend for Christmas. And I was like, I looked at him and I went, how old are you? He went, I'm 24. Swear to God. He said, I'm 24. I went, okay. I went, so you want what? He said, I want a girlfriend. And I was like, right. And before I could sort of think about how to respond, he went, and a sexy one. I was like, oh, and I just looked at him and I just went, well, I think that might be a bit of a problem to wrap and put under your Christmas tree, mate, but I'll do my best. And do you know what? I played Father Christmas for about 3-4 years, and he came back every single year.
Did he have a bird, Rob?
I don't think he did. No,
you didn't deliver, did you?
He kept coming back. He kept asking me the same fucking question.
You know what you should have done, mate. Right? If he come back the next year, right? You should have said, "Yeah, mate. There's 100 quid in there, mate. Go and find yourself a grass."
King's Cross is up the road.
Yeah. Pop on up there, mate.
Well, you're saying your age only holds your hand for 100 quid now.
Fucking hell.
No.
Huh?
How would you know?
I don't know. This is what I've heard.
Sounds like he's married.
How do you know that?
Camera on? I don't know.
How do you know that? You've been reading all them little things in the phone box, haven't you?
Yeah.
French lessons and all that. You know what I mean?
I'll get my stress relief in the phone box.
Public toilet, innit?
Yeah.
Got to the old Stratford sauna. Go there.
Well, the one Maryland roundabout.
That's the one.
I've never been there myself.
Never have I, mate.
That's 16th
just
birthday of my life, that was. I went there at 16 with 2 of my mates. It was fucking best time ever. It was dirt. It was brilliant. Clinic next day.
What was the famous one? It was Iron Maiden made a song about it. What was it? It was the lady, Acacia Avenue. It's where all the politicians used to go, didn't it? That woman.
Matt knows. Look, Matt knows.
Yeah, I do like a bit of Maiden. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
That was back in the 80s, wasn't it? And she got done for running a house of ill repute, to be polite, and she it all came out, didn't it, when she was like naming names, and it was all like a lot of politicians going around there.
That wasn't that Miss Whiplash, was it?
That's it.
That's the one.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
You bent there, didn't you?
I might have done.
Yeah.
I cannot confirm or deny it.
In the neck of the woods.
As you seen, Jose's pumped off because he actually gone to another show and that. But he said, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. So yeah, we'll have a good one. So thanks for Jose for coming on. But I think we can all answer this one. Where does Rashford go?
Not
Fuzzy?
Anywhere but United. Preferably Arsenal, though.
No, thank you.
No. He's in long line.
Would you take him on a season-long loan, Jez? Or do you think West Ham would take him on a season-long loan? Oh, Jesus.
No, I don't want him, mate. He ain't gonna work out at Arsenal. That's another Sterling. We'll get him in and don't play him. You know what I'm saying? We're paying out what 100 and what's it? We're paying 150 odd bags a week for half his weekly wage. Sorry, we don't play the bloke, and now he's not fit. So that was a great deal, wasn't it? Brilliant.
Yeah, we've had a few of them in our past, haven't we?
If we could get him on like a Lingard situation, he wanted out at Man United. Everyone wanted to kick him out. He came to us and gave us a brilliant 6 months, didn't he? So
yeah, you never know. You never know. Good evening to Ryan, the Mr. Arsenal podcast. He said, "What are the odds both Manchester clubs end up in the bottom half of the league at this rate?" You know, you imagine that's when we last time we saw that.
Relegated together.
Good evening, Mike England as well. Good evening, fellas. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and to yourself as well, Mark, and your family. Cole, what's he saying? We ain't winning shit. Yeah, look, Daz is green. Like, you know, Liverpool win the title. Oh, but Ryan's confident here, though. Look, 'cause he's saying Arsenal to win the League Cup and the FA Cup double.
Be nice. 93 was the last time we done that one.
93.
that'd be enough for him to keep his job as well, wouldn't it?
Forever.
Oh, Christ, mate. Look,
Forever.
Look. If he
What's
gets
a double?
if he gets top
What's a double? A lot of West Ham fans on here. Can someone explain what a double is?
Yeah.
It's a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Yeah. So we
Oh dear.
you don't have to Arsenal now, mate. You don't have to win FO. You keep your job, whatever. It's one of them things. You know what I mean?
He's even counting community shields there, Jez.
Yeah.
You know,
And I still count the Intertoto Cup back in the 90s. So it's the same sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Did we actually ever get a trophy to say we won it? I remember beating Mets.
It was a trophy, yeah.
We did, yeah?
Yeah, it was about the size of an egg cup.
It's tiny.
What was that What was the Intertoto Cup? Remember what was it?
It was like the league back in the 90s. Massive it was.
Yeah, but man. It was like the Super League of the 90s. Only the big teams entered.
I do remember it. But
It's like, you know, when you're in the Sunday League, Jez, and also like, you know, you're in the bottom half of the table. You're the bottom two teams. You're getting put in like an invitational cup, and hopefully you got a chance of winning a bit of silverware. It was one of those kind of things.
good old, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'll probably refereed in them games then.
You probably did. Yeah, Carl saying hit a sub to Jez Fuzz and the guests if they have a channel. Yep, they do indeed. Thanks very much for that, mate. Kane will not get back another BM starting next one. Wow. So, Matt, was you at the game?
No, unfortunately not. No, but I did manage to watch it. And yeah, good performance.
You got a good manager, haven't you? You have got a good manager.
Yeah, he's great. He's up there now with, you know, the likes of, you know, obviously Eddie Howe and Redknapp and managers like that. So, yeah, he's definitely good. I mean, we covered a little bit on the podcast this week about the clubs that are attracting attention, you know, like City and other clubs that are monitoring him. And, you know, just hopefully we can keep him as long as possible because obviously he's doing a great job at Bournemouth, doing a great job with the players. So, yeah, let's hope we can keep him a little bit longer than what some of the press is saying. But, yeah, he's done a fantastic job.
how did you feel last year, Matt, with the start he had? Because he didn't win a game, or was he was in the bottom of the league, weren't you? It was really rough start, first 10 games.
Yeah, first sort of 9-10 games. Yeah, I mean, if Craig, obviously a lot of you guys will probably know Craig from the channel. Craig was, and he'd admit this as well. He might be watching, so he might put something in the comments. But Craig was very, it's time for him to go sort of after the 7th, 8th game of the season where we hadn't picked up enough points. Whereas I could kind of see, there was something in his football. It was kind of something needed to click with the team. He needed time to bed in his philosophy. And once it did and it clicked, we've had nothing but decent football down at Dean Court. And I was really pro Iriola. I was pro the decision to make the change. No disrespect to Gary O'Neill, but I don't think he was ever the long-term solution for the club. He did a great job to keep us in the Premier League the season that he did, but in terms of long-term, he was never the right guy. And the club made the perfect decision by appointing Iriola.
Who's been recruiting your players for you? Has it been him, or has it been like someone above him?
Yeah, above him. So last season, I think he was in the role for probably God knows how long, quite a few years under Howe and other managers. Richard Hughes, who's moved on to Liverpool, he's now Liverpool's technical director. He was the man that was doing most of the recruiting. And now we've got Simon Francis, and we've also got who's now our technical director and our president, who come from Roma. Pinto is his surname. He's coming, and they're the ones that are doing the recruitment now. I think Iriola has a little bit of a say in, the kind of types of player he wants, but they're kind of the guys that are in charge of signing the players.
Mm-hmm. That's good, mate, because we've got a technical director in charge of us who is recruitment shit.
He wasn't even speaking to Moyes at the end of his time, was he? Your guy, was he?
No, well, the thing is with Moyes, it come to an end with him. Yeah, and all good things do come to an end. You need a fresh start. The thing is with us is we believe we was going to get someone who's going to be top quality, but instead we went and got someone who's cheap. And when you buy cheap, you buy twice, and that's what's happening with us at the minute. When I look at Steiden, I think the jury's massively out on him, mate. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, when you break down them 9 players, the 3 players that he's actually recruited, Guilherme, Tadibo, and Forkrug, not really worked out any of them really. Apart from Guilherme, who you can say, right, he's a youngster for the future, but that's always going to stick with a lot of people, if I'm being honest. And the other ones, Wan-Bissaka, I've got to give Sullivan some praise. He was the one who sorted that dinner, and with his agent and all that. And Somerville is another one. But, I think our recruitment needs to be better, for Lopetegui to be better. At present, he ain't going to get better with the recruitment that we've got, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's where we've been quite lucky, really. We've had some decent recruitment, and there's a lot of clubs, eyeing up our players at the minute. Obviously, I don't know that you guys are probably aware of our left back, Kirkez, decent left back, really good attacking, good defensively. Liverpool are eyeing him up. Arnier, our centre back, PSG is said to be interested in him. So, there's a lot of with a lot of our recruitment, they're obviously unfortunately attracting attention from other clubs. But hopefully we can keep hold of our top players, going forward. But money talks, doesn't it? But well, I've had worse Sundays anyway, to be fair. So quite happy today. I've had a few beers, and quite happy with where we are come Christmas. I mean, we're looking at, the start of the season, we're looking at 30 points as a target. So to be on 28 at Christmas is, well happy with.
So what would be now then? What's the standard now for you? Obviously, where you are right now, Christmas is very good. Yeah. Where does it become acceptable and unacceptable from now to the end of the season?
Yeah, see, now, obviously, there's a lot of talk of Europe. Now, have we got a chance of making Europe? Well, we're in the bag, aren't we? But, I mean, I'm one of these fans that's quite realistic. I remember where we come from. I was watching Bournemouth in League Two, minus 17 points, chances of going out the Football League. So I'm quite realistic. I wouldn't say we haven't got a chance of getting to Europe, but I think this season, if we finished 9th or 10th, that'd be a really good season. I'd be happy with that. If we did any better than that, then excellent, great. But I'm a bit more of I mean, Craig would tell you as well, because sometimes Craig gets a bit carried away, and I kind of try and keep Craig on the ground a little bit. Remember where he's come from. But yeah, no, I think it depends on how these games go over the Christmas period. If we get some results against Palace, Fulham, and Everton, which we can, then yeah, maybe that European dream will continue into 2025. But yeah, for the minute, I think if we finish 10th or 9th, then that's really good progression.
Good season. Yeah. I mean, funny you say you've had a couple of beers. Poor old Fuzzy, and that is not even drinking his chocolate milk. You've done him in. Your team have done him in.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I had a good feeling today, to be honest. I did have a good feeling. But yeah, to go up to Old Trafford 2 seasons in a row and get the win when we've never won there before is great. So yeah, long may our form continue.
Do you think you're bold to put the money into the club though? If you made it into Europe, so you can play midweek and weekends?
Yeah, that is a very good question. Now, the board that we've got now, obviously, with our ownership with Bill Foley and his enterprise, I think he would. I think he would invest. I do really think he would invest because his dream is to get Bournemouth to Europe. That's his goal. He's got a whole portfolio of football clubs. I don't know if you guys know much about it, but he's got clubs in France. He's got interests in Hibernian. He owns Auckland Football Club. He's got football clubs across the world. So his main club is Bournemouth, and he's very passionate about getting us into Europe. And if he does, I think he will heavily invest. He's going to need to heavily invest realistically, because obviously the whole Thursday, because we're not going to get Champions League, I don't think. So if we do get into Europe, it's going to be a case of the whole Thursday, Sunday scenario. And, he's going to need to heavily invest to make sure we can use a squad rotation because the bread and butter is going to be the Premier League. So, to compete in those kind of competitions, plus with the other cup games as well, he's going to need to invest so the manager has got a chance to have a decent squad rotation. So, yeah, he'll heavily invest, I think.
Must do, innit?
I mean, Jez, do you think Arsenal is going to invest anything during the January transfer window?
No.
Wow.
I don't honestly. The one position we do need, I think I think ironically, it's going to make Arteta's Christmas, and all of a sudden, Jesus has had a little resurgence. Even though he admits he's not a striker, it's not natural for him to score goals. But that solves a problem, doesn't it, for him? Oh, no, we've got a striker now. Hail Jesus. Happy Christmas. I can't see it, mate. Big up, Aaron.
Yeah, big up, mate.
Big up to you, Aaron. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Hello to everyone who I'm a bit unfamiliar with. I hope you're all well. Yeah, I just might as well jump in on just something that Jez said as well, and a question you asked him, Tone. Yeah, that's the problem with the Arsenal fans. Jesus has done it again, isn't he? The second rising of Jesus at Christmas. He scored 2 goals, and now that's it. Everyone thinks he's going to be absolutely prolific again for another year or two. Come on, man. We've read all this, read these books before. We've listened to this CD so many times, played this record over and over. The geezer hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League aside from last week for a year. What's to say he's not going to do it again? That's more likely than him going on and scoring every game. We need a striker. We won't bloody sign one. I can guarantee you that. It's going to be a very, very boring transfer window for us, as in Arsenal. For those that don't know, I'm an Arsenal fan. Yeah, it's going to be a very boring transfer window. I predict little to nothing, especially absolutely nothing exciting, unfortunately. I'd love to be wrong, boys. But yeah, I'm with Jez. I think it's just got to be a bit of a stinker, and I will not be holding any breath.
I'll get that one. Before Rob goes, because he's going to have to shoot off in a minute, I'll ask you first, Rob. Do you think West Ham's going to buy anyone in the January transfer window?
I think we need to get at least one player in. To be honest with you, I think we need a bit more than that. If I'm being completely truthful, I think we probably need a left back. I think we need a centre back. I think we need a box-to-box midfielder and a striker. But they're not all going to come in January, that's for sure. I think probably if I was to sort of prioritise for me, I think it'd be a striker. But whether we'll get one's another matter.
Another thing, yeah, absolutely.
Fingers crossed. Hope springs eternal, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously Damien's saying about obviously strikers. Ings is a fox in the box, I was told, apparently.
You can have Jesus if you want. 60 million, he's going.
60 million?
I know, in Europe, you wouldn't even get 15 for him. I'm only joking. Yeah.
God.
But he's going.
Anyway, I got to scoot, guys. I'll see you in a bit.
Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you too. Have a good Christmas, chaps. Take care.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Care, mate. Take care.
James, Sam, do you think we're going to get anyone?
I agree with what I think he said. Like, it's a striker is the main priority, especially with Mickey out there. Fulcrum doesn't look like he's at the races yet. He's only just came back from injury. Who would have thought we'd have to wait until December to have a start a game for us in the Premier League? It's a striker that we need, but who'd you go and get? Who's out there?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Not even who's going to want to come play for us? Because at the end of the day, even when we play Bowen up front, we're hoofing balls up to him. Is it going to come down to who are we going to pay the most money? But it's definitely what we need. Do it? I don't know.
I think we need a midfielder, box-to-box midfielder with energy. Someone who can pick the ball up and drive, gets out of trouble. I think the midfield's shit, and it's making our defence look shit and all. I heard someone said earlier on about Tadibo. I'm not on that. I think Tadibo is a good player, and I think what you do is you sort the midfield out, and it makes the defence better because you have a bit more cover. Striker we need. Like, we've had some bad luck over the last month. I'm not going to lie with West Ham. Do you know what I mean? With death of a young goalkeeper, and obviously Antonio's accident, and Lopetegui's dad dying, and you know what I mean. They say things come in threes, don't it? So I think we need a striker. I think we need a central midfielder, and I think we need a centre half. Because I don't think Mavropanos is good enough, and I think you are playing with fire if Kilman goes down. If that happens with Kilman the other day, then we're knackered. We've got no centre halves of any quality to a point. So, yeah, we need basically a spine of our team. We need, if I'm being honest.
Would you trust, just quickly, sorry to say, would you trust this manager getting you that, though? Because Lopetegui, surely you want him out. So surely you'd need a new manager to get you them sort of
Do you
players.
know what? At the end of the day, I want Lopetegui out like the next man. Yeah, so I don't think he's good enough, and I think he was a cheap appointment basically for the fan base. It was someone that was free, cheap, and available, and basically that's what it was. The issue I've got is that our technical director needs to start not keep going to Brazil every 5 minutes, and start actually bringing people back and leaving him and signing good players. Like at present, we signed 9 players, and 2 of them have been flops in Guido and Fulkrug. Fulkrug's not good enough. Like, that's a panic buy from Duran. I look at Wan-Bissaka being a good sign. I look at Somerville as a future signing. They're good signings. But we need him to go out and find us some players, especially in this January window. And the thing is, it's mad. We're 7 points away from City, which is unbelievable.
Mad,
when you think of it like that, if we beat Southampton and City failed to win their next game, we're 4 points behind it, which is mental.
Was that with even games played as well?
Yeah, that's even games played. So, it's just like we can go on a run and do it, but it's just whether or not we can get the personnel in. That's the problem. Like, at the minute, we haven't got anyone. Like, and it's just square pegs in round holes at West Ham all the time, just to get cover.
Everyone out of position.
Yeah.
Like,
I know how you feel, mate.
It's like the other day. Like, you got Sifal on the right, Wan-Bissaka on the left, and then he changed it again. And the problem is with Lopetegui, I don't know about like Sam, but for me, I look at him and I just think we're prolonging his sacking. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going on. It's just going on. He should have got sacked after the Leicester game. If you want me to be honest, the Leicester game was enough to say, you know what, come on, right, this is not working. But then I look at the Bournemouth fan there, and last season they was going on a mental run, couldn't win a game, couldn't get it right, and then it clicked, and then it sort of look at them now. Like, I'm not saying Lopetegui can do that, but there's two sides of the coin, isn't there? You've got to look at both sides. So, I don't know, mate. I really don't know where West Ham are at the minute. Like, I don't know what our identification is. I don't know where we look, like, what we're trying to do. We're just stalling at the minute. We don't know whether we're going forward or back, if I'm being honest.
That's the shit thing about it, though. We're in game week 17 and we don't know. Don't know what our starting 11 is.
Yeah.
What formations we play. I don't know any of our tactics. There's
Yeah.
no even glimmer of thinking, oh, he might be doing this. The job, I can't believe I'm saying the job's too big for him. He has seemed to scout his way to all these jobs: the Spanish job, the Madrid job. I know he won it at Seville, but he won it with a team that wasn't his squad, and then didn't. Then went to Porto for 3 years and didn't win nothing.
What it is with him, but do you know what? I don't even blame him. I don't really look at him and go, you're it. I look at the owner. And I say it all the time on E20. All the fucking time. I've said it for a long time with him, yeah? But the owner's the major thorn in all our asses, because he's just there. He's always going to have the final say on whoever comes in, whether that's transfers, whether that's a manager. And the thing is, if you was to ask, I said this to Tony the other week, if you ask 1,000 West Ham fans what they really want, you could probably get the right scale of where we're at, or what really people want. And if someone said, right, you're going to go out and get a Michael Carrick, for instance, and said, right, you're going to give him a 4-year deal, you're going to give him 2 years to sort of integrate his style, bring his own players in, and then on the second year, you're going to try and go for Europe. Fans would, I honestly believe fans would accept that and go, you know what, we can see a project there. But with Lopetegui, they gambled with him. And that's where it's kicked us in the arse a little bit. They thought Julian Lopetegui, a bit like Manuel Pellegrini, he's a name. We're going to fire money at it. And then within 2 years, he's going to be like, it gets where we want to be. The problem is, this year we ain't getting Europe, right? That's out of the question. Yeah, we'll be lucky if we get top 10. Next year, we're going to have a problem because he's got 1 year left. And then what do you do with him? Like, if he, like, do you allow him to carry on for that year and hope he gets us into Europe? Or do you stand back and go, right, this ain't going to work, we've got to let him go? And you're going to have the same situation where it's going to be the Moyes situation, but not as bad, but it's going to be on that with Lopetegui, where people will say, well, you've got to give him a chance because it's a transitional season, the last season, and this is a new season. And then there'll be people like me, for instance, I use me as an example, saying this is not going to work because he's just not the guy, and then going from there. If I'm being honest.
You're going to do like Arsenal do and give him a 3-year contract, like, you know, and hope for the best.
At least have a plan, though, Tone. Like,
True.
If West Ham had a plan, I'd accept it.
Yeah,
but
but
you know what? I can see what they're doing.
Yeah, I think he's got one of them tombola boxes and that, and just fucking shakes it up and right, that'll do. And that's the he puts out.
Is that
the opposite of shit at Man United? We've got the manager with the tactics, but the most woeful players. Whereas West Ham have got a manager with no real tactics or ideas, but a squad that would actually be fairly decent for quality, like pound for pound, player for player. So
the only thing I will say with that is I don't think the players that have been brought in and the players that we've got currently fit what Lopetegui's trying to do. That's the problem. Like when you've got Edson Alvarez in the middle of the park, and don't get me wrong, I like Edson, but he's not that technically good enough to sort of get you out of trouble. He's your enforcer. He's your DM. He ain't going to break the line and get us out of midfield. And when you look at Guido Rodriguez on a free transfer, that insults a lot of people because, honestly, if you said to me right now, you got James Ward-Prowse or you got Guido Rodriguez, who would you rather have? I know the fuck who I'd rather have. Do you know what I'm saying? And like one of them's on loan at Forest and the other one's sitting on our bench. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, mate. I don't know. I just feel like the identity of West Ham's gone a little bit, if I'm being honest. I think it's very Lopetegui's trying to do a European style in the Premier League. And we all know how that goes. It don't always work.
No, that's true. Just want to say to Colin that, and I hope your friend is getting better in that, but fair play for Colin because he looks after his friend. Obviously, he's had an operation, dementia and that, and you know, I hope he gets through the Christmas with you as well, Colin. So thanks for doing what you're doing with him.
Fair play, mate.
Yeah.
Good
day.
I'm off.
Sam, thanks for being on, mate.
You as
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Have a good Christmas, you and yours.
Yes,
And
mate.
we'll catch up again soon. Good day, David Shear. What the fuck have I walked into, Tony? It's a Christmas one. We're trying to get as many people on that. You have a good art. He does indeed, Mama. Don't talk to Nozzy about swearing. Ethan Sharkey, hope you will. Miko R. Jezza. Yeah.
I'd rather Mikel Arteta than Mikel Arteta. I can promise you that.
And they're saying that with each other, which is good. What would you expect? Bloody waddy. Fuzzy Fuzzy Bear, we just bent on the pet. Of course they do, yeah. Yeah, Mum is the queen here. Saying about Gates, that was Fuzzy that sat in your knee. Yeah, mate. Got some questions going to go through. Obviously, going to be Vincenzo's. Would you take Rashford at West Ham? Well, possibly on loan, we just said there.
Yeah.
Permanent.
Possibly on loan. Permanent.
500k a week.
500k. Wow.
I'm assuming you've probably been through it all, boys, but Rashford to Arsenal, please, just to whoever's.
Oh, no,
talking
we've
that
said yes.
nonsense.
We've all agreed that it's a done deal.
I would have thought so.
Gentleman's
Yeah,
agreement.
It's a done deal. Even Jez agreed with it for some reason.
Oh,
Didn't you, Jez?
the thing is,
This has
it
already
does stink of
pre-ordered
Arsenal,
the
doesn't
Arsenal
it?
Rashford 10.
It does stink of it. I haven't got the same gut feeling about the Sterling one. As soon as I heard that Sterling news, my stomach dropped because I absolutely knew. I was like, "Oh, he'd be at Arsenal." The second Maresca said he's got no place in my squad plans, I was just like, "Oh yeah, he's signing." I haven't got quite that with Rashford, but do you know what? If he turned up at the door at some stage in January, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd detest it, but I wouldn't bloody be surprised.
Vincenzo saying, if West Ham finished 9th, would you guys be happy? I think with the season we're in so far and that.
We ain't finishing 9th. No chance. That'd be that would be a Christmas miracle if we finish 9th. You know what I mean?
We did, yeah. We'd definitely be happy about that. Got no choice in the matter, I think, in that one. Yeah, look, Matt's saying about Areola. Difference between Areola and Loppy. Areola is style, Loppy is clueless. Don't mention my Jesse March suggestion. How wrong was I?
Yeah, very wrong.
What, Jesse March to Bournemouth?
He basically wanted. He's obviously watching then. He basically wanted, when Areola was going through that bad patch, his suggestion of a replacement was Jesse Marsh.
Craig, if you're watching, get yourself in this show now. We've got a question there.
I think he should be sectioned for it, really.
Jeez, Jesse Marsh. Dear Willie boy, even gents, even to yourself. Show me the way to AS Roma, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. Show me the way to San Siro. Irrelease take me, Chalala. Oh, he's enjoyed himself all right, that's for sure.
Get West Ham Ted Lasso to replace.
Ted Lasso. Well, yes, probably would be a bad shot. Even Mike England, I think, will do a job. Yeah, big up to the assembled as well. Even everyone, just as you think your team is doing bad, along comes Spurs to lay claim to that title.
True. I was kind of hoping that someone else would share the embarrassment for us this weekend.
Big up, Charlotte.
Spurs, they were in our corner tonight. They were in our corner.
Yeah, that was.
And now they got a two-legged bloody Carabao Cup semi-final to deal with Liverpool as well. It don't stop.
You could have pretty much called that. Maybe not the 6-3 aspect, but I think the Spurs v Liverpool, you pretty much knew how that was going to go. Like the way they've got a little bit more controlled Liverpool on the ball under Arne Slot. They was always going to just let Spurs have a little go and do whatever they could do, soak it all up and just absolutely smack them on the counter attack. We all knew exactly what was going to happen. There was no surprise. The surprise was Spurs got 3. And then it probably would have scored, but there was no surprise really. That was a high-scoring game in Liverpool's favour at all, was it? And
the Liverpool boys seem to be enjoying themselves. I mean, like, you know, so Bosley seems to be coming into his own now, doesn't he, into the game with Liverpool? I mean, they just look relentless to me.
That semi-final will be done in one leg for Spurs. It'll be finished in one leg.
You imagine it.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's the
do.
home-
I
it's the home
generally
leg for
believe it.
Spurs at the first leg. I think.
Yeah.
So,
Look what's just happened, doesn't it? That's what I mean. It almost makes no difference. I just reckon it'll be done and dusted. Liverpool even if they get 2 goals clear, even if it's just a 2-0 win or a 3-1 win, they're not going back to Anfield and doing anything. Probably even a 1-0. Like, I just can't see anything but Liverpool absolutely taking the piss out of them. Good.
True.
I loved looking at it earlier. Spurs misery is what fuels me. It gets me up in the morning. Happy Christmas, Spurs.
Yeah. Charlotte Smalls is saying, what do you think about Jonathan Davis? I think he's from
David.
David, is
Leon.
it from
Leon.
Leon, yeah. Oh, I lost Leon, yeah.
Anyone. Well, I mean, do you know what? I
moving
got
on.
mentioned of a lad up in Borough. Is it Lati Lat or whatever his name is? Like the centre forward up there. I think West Ham might need to go down the Championship route. They've got good history of the Championship, and might need to go down there again and see if we can nick some players from there. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we can't find a striker for love of money. This ownership's had 110 strikers go for their books, and about four of them have been decent. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
That's starting off.
We got a problem with strikers, lads.
We've got Havertz and Jesus. One of them's a winger and one of them's a midfielder, and neither of them can finish for love nor money.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear me.
but we've got 4 Kruger Danny Ings. They can't be that much.
You win, all right. You win, mate. Yeah, no contest.
Yeah, I bet you a Danny Ings and a 4 crew over. Yeah, one of those. Daz is asking the question: do you think Antonio or Mickey will play for West Ham again?
No,
I don't think so,
mate. I'll be shocked if they give him a new deal. If they do give him a new deal, no disrespect to him, but it's out of sentiment. It's out of respect for giving him a new deal because he's ill, right, or he's been injured. But you know, I suppose like you have to look at it like that. He's 34. It's going to take him a year to come back. It's going to be 35/36. That's not business minded, mate. At the end of the day, and that's what hurts. I think that's what's going to hurt a lot of West Ham fans more than anything, especially a lot of the younger fan base, because they've grown up with Antonio being like their sort of icon to a point. And when I look at him now, for him to go out the way he's gone out, it's going to be sad. I think, if I'm being honest.
Let's hope the club do something for him as a send off, at least, if that is the case, because.
Some of them will phone him up and sack him.
Yeah, well, not even phone him up. Send a text message. Do that.
Send him a text message. You're not getting a contract, mate.
Like the modern way.
Football's a ruthless beast, isn't it? No matter how
yeah.
much you serve your club, it's a business at the end of the day, and sadly, you could be an icon, but it's the old same thing, in it really, when you've got a national a fantastic racehorse. It's won this, it's won that, and it's done this. At the end of the day, it gets the bullet in the head.
Yeah, it's true. Like, it's true what you're saying. Honestly, it really is. And it's like, and I think, as I say, like the other week when it happened, a lot of fans thought he'd been killed. Do you know what I mean? And like we was all sitting there going, like, what is going on here? And as I said earlier, we had a lot of bad luck over the last 3 weeks. Like Antonio, with a young goalkeeper pass away through cancer, and then we had obviously Lopetegui's dad pass away. Now the thing is with Lopetegui, it's how he's going to bounce back from that, because that's major. That is. I know man was 96, I think it was, but
94.
94. Yeah, like so. You know, he's had a good innings, isn't he? Like, let's be real, but it's like some people act different, and I think it's all going to depend on that.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Big up to Mr. Joshy J. Say big up to Tony in the chat. Tony, you were gifted a membership on my channel. When purchased memberships, you're one of the chosen ones. Thanks for that, Mr. Joshy J. Well, Jose, he was a champion weightlifter. He used to lift up them stones, like you see, like strongest men. He used to lift them up.
Fucking ain't working about with him then.
No, that's right.
Tottenham, Jose, Tottenham are right, mate. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean
Yeah.
Lopetegui's old man, not Jose to the Spurs man. I mean Lopetegui's old man.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna...
if that's the case, I mean,
but
top of shit.
I actually have met Jose, and he is a unit. So he is a unit.
I'll take it back, Jose. Take it back.
Always liked him.
Always been my mate. Never gone out.
Proper geezer, mate.
Yeah.
Proper geezer. Couldn't speak better of him.
Yeah, exactly. One of those, isn't it? I mean, Charlotte's saying about Lopetegui, he's had 23 games and don't know his best lineup. It's the chopping and changing all the time. It's that inconsistency that gets on my nerves.
I think it's like every club, though. Like obviously you've got Arsenal fans here, and obviously they're going to feel like the same with Arteta to the point where he keeps chopping and changing it and fucking about. And, you know, there's no consistency. Like, even last season, I know that was unlucky last year, but Raya and Ramsdale, like changing the goalkeeper every other week, you know what I mean? Like, and things like that. It just derails you. Like, it just derails the club. Because you don't know what you don't know what you are. Do you know what I mean? So,
do you know what? It definitely derailed Raya, especially for the first few sort of weeks of his Arsenal sort of season, because you sort of see him making a lot of errors, and then there was more from the fan base, and the fan base in the stadium, which I wasn't part of, was singing Aaron Ramsdale's name while Raya was playing. So, you know, it just did cause a lot of destabilisation, especially in that goalkeeping department, you know, unnecessarily, and some of it was sort of fan made. It's frustrating to sort of watch it, you know, and Arteta was really the main sort of instigator of that. You know, the way he handled it was no good. You know, and Ramsdale just signed the new deal all of a sudden out of nowhere. Yeah, you're my number one, mate. Signs a new player. Oh, yeah, don't worry. It's just competition. You can have 2 number ones, plays Ramsdale for 1 more game. Talar off your pot, mate. You never play again. Do you know what I mean? He dealt with that so poorly. And just in general, I think his management Arteta is absolute pony, to be fair. It's nowhere near the standards. And I get a lot of frustrations the same with you, as sort of a West Ham fan. You know, you sort of use the phrase, you know, square pegs round holes sort of thing. Arteta does that all the time. And even just as a sort of similar example, like we'll get one injury, yeah, and it'll be to our left-sided midfield, and all of a sudden he's then has to move left-sided centre mid to a centre mid, then a centre mid over there, then Partey goes to right back, and then he moves a right back to left back, and you're thinking you've got one injury and you've moved about 8 players. It's just
you're
madness.
making what it is. They make a game that is easy to play complicated. Like when you keep doing all of that, like, and we've seen it this year with West Ham. Like, and I don't know about Matt in regards of like Bournemouth, sort of their manager sort of changes things, but with our manager, we don't know what the lineup is. Like honestly, we are literally guessing every time, and usually at any club, any fan can sort of gather what their 8-9 players are going to be. We can tell you who our centre half's going to be. We don't know really what our midfield's going to be, and that's what's killing us at the minute. It's the midfield, and also we don't know whether our left-sided player who that's going to be. Like, well, we played Mohamed Kudus as a left winger when he's not a left winger, and we've signed him to play left wing. It's just, it's mental. To be honest.
Well, just while you're on that, you might have already touched it. So sorry, Tone, if you've already touched on it. I might be regurgitating something. What do you reckon on the stance of like a Kudus and Bun? Because you've got some real top players at West Ham. That's undeniable, and some that I'd really like at Arsenal. What do you sort of like reckon on the futures of, say, your Bowens and the Kudus more specifically? Because
Bowen,
Bowen
Bowen ain't leaving. I don't think. Yeah. I think the only way Bowen leaves if he goes abroad. I think he's settled in West Ham. I think he's took the mantle of being the captain at West Ham, so I don't see him leaving.
Yeah.
I think Mo goes in the summer. I'm seeing reports of him going in January. I don't believe so. That'd be suicide from West Ham to go and get rid of one of your best players in the January window.
Yeah.
And really, you can't find quality in the January window. It's usually like you're trying to find people to sort of back up your team that you've currently got.
Yeah.
I think it goes in the summer. I think it goes for 85 million because that's what his release clause is. The only way he goes now is if West Ham get 100 million for him, which I don't think a club's that silly to go and do that when they can wait 6 months and get a bit more knocked off him. Yeah. I think Lucas Paqueta's a problem at West Ham. But I love Lucas Paqueta, and his situation is the reason why he's pretty much derailed us all season. Yeah, because he should have left in the summer, but the gambling thing absolutely killed him, and that's what's done it for us.
Really has, yeah. It's quite interesting. Yeah, I didn't think when I asked, I was more sort of expecting to say about Kudus sort of leaving. I know sort of Bowen's sort of he's got his heart in sort of West Ham still. It was just nice to sort of see a West Ham sort of fan side of it. Because obviously you'll know a lot better than I will. You said everything that I thought, but appreciate that.
I just think with Kudus, and Tony will probably agree with on it. It'd be absolutely mayhem if we go and get rid of him. And then the thing is, I think what it is when I look at Mo, he fits Liverpool for me more than Arsenal. He's ideal for Liverpool, and obviously Slot would have seen a lot of him being the final manager, against Ajax every time. So I just think it's made for, if Salah does go, they go and get Mohamed Kudus and put him on that side.
Possibly a 3-horse race, because the other one we haven't kind of, I think Newcastle would also be in the mixed room as well.
Yeah.
Newcastle, I think. I'd really be worried if he went to Liverpool, if I'm being honest with you, because even I'm not saying they're anywhere near as good, but Diaz on his day can cause a bit of havoc, and Kudus can be fantastic. They won't be at the levels of Salah and Mane, but Jesus Christ, when I think of Salah and Mane, I'll start shaking. I don't want him going there.
Big up to Dal for coming in and that. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're good, mate. And to you three Arsenal boys, it's quite appropriate to say this at the same time. What do you think about this possibility that Fuzzy's Man United could be heavily linked with Declan Rice?
No.
So we can go there and win nothing too.
Well, if it's 110 million, then okay, fair play.
More than that, Jess. 130, 135.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Up out of Fuzzy's fridge.
That ain't happening.
Yeah. I just don't see why Thomas Partey's deal and Jorginho's deal end up out of contract in the summer, while we'd a year and a half later, 2 years later, sell the only last 6 that we have left to Manchester United. It just absolutely makes no sense whatsoever.
I think he plays for the shirt. I mean, he had his choice between United and Arsenal, right? Before he came to Arsenal, essentially. United were chasing after him as well, but I don't think they wanted to pay the 105 mil. I think their cutoff was about 90, if I remember.
Yeah. Man City were in the race and they backed out as well.
Right. So yeah, I think he bleeds the red and white, guys. I don't see him going to any other club. Maybe Bayern Munich in the future, something like that. But I don't see him going to another Prem team.
Yeah. I can't. Not straight after Arsenal. Definitely.
Not straight after Arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, Damien said, "Dear Centre, all I want for Christmas is Jose Mourinho, Echo Adams, Tycee William Mendengi, Jaden Ostwald, and a new bike."
And a new manager, not fucking Jose Mourinho. Fuck me. What is going on with our fucking fan base, mate? Honestly. You know what I mean? I don't want Jose touching the West Ham. He's already destroyed fucking Man United, and fucking everywhere he goes, he starts destroying things. You know what I mean? But no, not for me. Not for me.
He's got to that stage of his career, isn't he, where he just goes there and just thinks, fuck it. I'll just
rather a project manager. I'd rather someone, even, let's have a think, like someone who's up and coming, like someone, even like just someone who you can sort of back a project with. Do you know what I mean? So, like for instance, we got the with a geezer, Will Still, who's out in France. Yeah, he's a sort of a manager that's young, up and coming, decent manager. He's a West Ham supporter. Right, that goes a long way. So he understands the club. Like going for Jose Mourinho, it's just going for Manuel Pellegrini and Julian Lopetegui. It's just a name, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know what I mean?
True.
Arteta. I'll take Arteta, Jesse. I mean,
Well,
Chesil drove him over there.
can't make it up, mate. Fact.
who would you want if he was to get sacked tomorrow?
Carlo.
who would-
Carlo.
Oh,
He's having a
yeah.
rough time, especially being realistic. He's having a bit of a rough time at Real Madrid. Why? Because Real Madrid actually demand success from their players and hold managers' accountability as well. Held them accountable. There could be a reality rather. I'll talk English in a second. Reality where he actually gets sacked from Real Madrid in the not too distant future because things ain't going rosy over there, you know. And the only problem is with that is, whilst would I absolutely, I'd go Arteta, right? Don Carlo's gone on the phone and he's gone. Do you know what? I've been sacked, boys. I'll have a bit of Arsenal, yeah, but our board, as you know, Trordini would say, no cojones. I couldn't see it in a lifetime. We'd wait to get rid of.
Arsenal,
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, man.
What about
Southgate.
What about Xavi?
I'd take Simeone in a heartbeat. But the thing is, with Arsenal, Josh Kroenke, let's put it right, it's Josh Kroenke pretty much is the man that owns Arsenal, right? His father has nothing to do with Arsenal anymore. It's Josh Kroenke. Josh Kroenke and Arteta are like that.
Right.
And Arteta plays along with Josh Kroenke. Josh Kroenke wants a yes man because at the end of the day, you bring a manager in like Don Carlo or Simeone.
It's bigger than the owner, isn't it?
They're going to question. They're going to say, "Well, what the fuck are we doing here?"
Yeah,
right. And they don't want that. They don't.
I don't think you will get on board though with Simeone's style of play though. He is a very he's very good at it. Don't get me wrong. This defensive style that he plays, Simeone.
Right.
But I don't think you will get on board with that. Like
But
even
we're seeing nonsense defensive crap from Arteta though. To be
Right.
oh
fair,
yeah, listen, I agree.
I got to say that, you know, we have got the players sort of for it. Maybe I know what you're saying.
We had one of the greatest, one of Arsenal's greatest managers, right, that played defensive in his first 2 seasons and won trophies. George Graham.
Yeah, but it's a different Premier League's a different level now, isn't it? Though, let's be real.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But Arteta still does it. He likes to play defensive at times, yeah, and it doesn't always work.
Don't get me wrong. I agree with what you're saying. I know a few Arsenal fans, and I understand what you're saying. I just don't think when I look at Xavi at Arsenal, I look at Simeone for instance. I look at him at Arsenal. Xavi would be a good shout for you. Ex-Barcelona.
I think Xavi would be a good shout for you. I'm not going to lie. He's unemployed at the minute, isn't he? I think that'd be a good.
I think managers like Xavi need to start, and no disrespect, but need to start at clubs like West Ham, Crystal Palace, Everton, etc. Before they take on a
too big for
big
that, mate.
club like Arsenal.
think
Arsenal's
he's
too
too
big
big.
of a club for Arteta.
But don't get me wrong.
No disrespect, but I mean, we all know the mix-up, right? Ancelotti went to Everton, Arteta came to Arsenal. And if it was just swapped the other way around, we wouldn't be having these conversations, right? Go from one professor to the next. I really like Inzaghi, but I don't think Inzaghi, Ancelotti, or even Simeone, I mean, you'd have to give them a really, really good project and pay package for them to
So
leave.
what you're saying
There's
is then
no reason for Inzaghi to leave unless it's absolutely money, and he could take 2 or 3 players with him.
So what
right?
you're saying now, then the project's done, and you want a manager to go and win. No.
Right, exactly, and I think that's a good selling point for someone like Simeone, Inzaghi, Ancelotti. But I just, Jez is right. Josh Kroenke, Arteta snaked his way in through the job through Josh Kroenke. I fully believe that.
See, the thing is,
believe that.
Right, the way you got to look at this is: would you have had Slot at Arsenal before, this season? I don't think Arsenal fans would have gone, "Oh, we're going for the Feyenoord manager."
I think part of the reason why Slot went there is because they have some Dutch players, right? They've got Gakpo, Gravenberch, etc. I think that's part of the draw that they wanted Slot. They wanted a Dutch coach to actually probably work with Gakpo the most, in my opinion, and Gravenberch.
Slot was a good manager in Feyenoord.
Right.
He was doing some good things in Dutch football, and he was always going to get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
This last season, I think what it is with Liverpool is they see the potential in him and thought, let's go for him. like we can use him as a first season integrate in the players of what he wants to do, because his style play isn't really too similar to Klopp's. They're pretty similar. Like, obviously he's got a different way of playing, but I just don't think Arsenal would take that risk. Like, I think Arsenal wants someone who's ready-made, who's done it, who's won it, and basically going, right, that's who we're going to go and get. Do you know what I mean? Like Zidane. Like Zidane, for me, is a big pull. But also you've got to get a manager that can pull players to you and all. That also helps. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Arteta just goes for Man City's fucking reserves.
Chelsea's reserves. Yeah,
exactly.
And they're not getting any better.
Yeah. So I just feel when you look at it and you look at Arsenal, I'll be honest, I used to live in North London. I used to live in Hornsey, which was basically fucking 5-minute fucking walk from Arsenal football ground. And me with West Ham shirt, it was good times. But when I look at Arsenal, I just feel that they're ready made. I still think they need a lot of work doing that. They need, first off, they need a centre forward at the club. That's a major thing. They need to go out and identify a 25 goal a season centre forward. I think when you're asking for Havertz or Jesus to come in, I think there's levels. Right, there really is, and I also think they need cover for Eldegaard and all. Like, you take him out, Arsenal not the same side, and Saka. Like, the three key players is centre forward, cover for Saka, cover for Eldegaard. I think your defence is your centre halves are quality with Saliba.
For sure.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So I just feel like the project's done now. I think Arsenal fans just want to win, and that's it.
Yeah, listen, can I jump in with that as well? Yeah, something that you said, right, was there's still a lot of work to do. That is everything wrong with what's going on at Arsenal right now. And by that, I mean, it's 5 years, 2 days ago that Arteta's been there. It's 800 odd million spent. Why is there still so much work to do? Why have we still not got a backup keeper? Right. Why have we still not got the left back sorted? You know, why have we still not got a striker? Why have we still not got a good backup striker? Why have we not got a good left-sided midfielder? Why have we not got a backup for Saka? We've faced failure. That's the problem. Is now we've gone through.
Yeah, but do you think that window when you signed Rice, he should have went out and used that money, and then signed Rice this window, like this summer just gone? Like, because don't forget,
it'd have gone to City though, wouldn't he? That's what I mean. Like, it would have gone somewhere, probably. Like, that's the thing. But the thing is, what you're saying is spend 65 million on Havertz somewhere else. Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's the real problem. That's the real problem.
Yeah, but don't we remember, Aaron? Your manager's turned and said the best is yet to come.
Yeah, when? I know, yeah.
Now he's got that 5 years.
I don't want to cheer Aaron up, but he did say Charity Shield's our trophy. So.
That's it, yeah.
I got to say,
that don't cheer me up. It makes me laugh, but it don't cheer me up.
Press conferences he's ever
enjoy it. I'll toast you on that with a Stella, mate.
That's probably one of the worst press conferences ever that he's ever given.
Yeah, absolutely. That was
so cringe.
It's not the first time your manager's done it, though, Dale. That's the problem. But this one was a humdinger. There's no two ways about it. It was
not be down.
Just going on this one, just kind of take away a little bit from the football side of it. I mean, obviously, you had Usyk and Fury fight again and that. And as he's saying there, he thought the scorecards were wrong, closer than they feel like it was. But I think for me, I think Usyk was going to win anyway. Don't know about you guys, thought the same.
Cost me a fortune, Fury.
No, I bet.
I believe that. That's what it was.
Big up, Ryan.
Frank Warren was dumbfounded after that, wasn't he? I've never seen him so quiet and so shocked afterwards. And to be fair, he's got a point. I think one of the judges scored him no rounds, Fury, over the last 6 rounds, and the other 2 scored him 1. I mean, to be fair, like, I don't know what everyone else makes of it, but maybe Usyk did deserve just to sort of win it, but not by 4 rounds. No way.
Yeah, a little bit out there. Big up to Anthony as well. Good for coming in, mate. I'm going to put a link in the chat soon. Anyone wants to come and join us and say Merry Christmas and whatnot. Craig saying, regarding the FC, so basically, I never doubted Areola, but I thought we didn't have the players to play his style. I thought Marsh would get points to the ball playing ugly. Good job I'm not Bill.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yes, and of course, tomorrow night you're going to see the Knowles father and son show. That's going to be quite interesting. You wearing that West Ham kit again, are you, Aaron? Just to make sure, mate.
It's Dad that's not wearing the old Arsenal top again. Bless his little cotton socks. But I'll tell you what, just before we go on a little bit further, I do have to give credit to the most recently joined panelist, Mr. Anthony Herbert. There, we was having a great little chat off the Jesus quiz, and it was his idea to do it. So I absolutely can't take any credit on that. It was a great idea, and we will be having a little Arsenal West Ham Christmas laugh at 6 o'clock tomorrow. All for a bit of fun. Me and Dad on the same stream. Yeah, why not? But yeah, big up, Ant, man. Yeah.
Yes, of course, Anthony.
Give him a penny, Aaron. Don't give him a penny.
No, is this comment down here? I congratulated Tony on 800 subs, but I want to know where, because I lent him £1,000 and he owes me £1,000. So I use my team. All right.
Got the
Where's my
in your
paycheck?
mug. Well, Anthony's going to lend you that money as well. Exactly.
Make it rain.
Darren? Make it rain. Make it rain. If I tried lifting heavy stones, I'd probably injure myself. Probably drop it on the foot, which has a bad ankle. And I had to go. And now going a few weeks ago, and it went through. Like, Jesus Christ Almighty! So it seems out the two of you, you're the sensible one there, Matt. By the sounds of it.
Yeah, he's the clumsy one. Yeah.
Craig, yeah. Oh God, don't get me wrong. I like Craig. Craig's a good guy. He is a good guy. Very good guy. He found out because I put in a comment. I was in a quiz, and I won that quiz by the way, and it was on Chris's Leicester. And he turned around, and for some particular reason, he actually knew Santa's postcode. How the hell did he know that?
He knows all sorts. He knows all sorts.
Yeah. Have you sent it? You ought to send him the link, Matt, for him to come on. Listen, this guy, if he does come on, he's the cheap imitation of Smithy from Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
James Gordon. Yeah, he's a James Gordon looking like.
I do hire him out for £500 a time. If anyone's interested, just give us a call. You can have
stag doos and hen doos welcome.
I let my missus know she's a fan of Gavin and Stacey. I've never watched one episode of that. I'll be honest with you. Not one.
Well, we'll do mate rates for you. You can have him for $250.
Oh, excuse me. Can he keep her? That's the only thing.
One here for you, me and James. Terence is saying to the West Ham members of the crew, what would you do if your son ended up supporting Arsenal? Yes, you would still love him, but my God.
That won't be happening, mate. I've got my nephew who's named Bobby after the great man, and my missus is with an Arsenal fan. But what you don't realise is I will give him every kit going for West Ham, and I will consistently do so. Do you know what I'm saying?
What happened was, mate, was Dad failed me. You know what I mean? He let it happen. So
yeah,
big up, B. Ross. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Anthony, so what would you make of the weekend of football?
Yeah, I thought it was a good weekend. I mean, don't get me wrong. We don't like Thomas Partey at right back. We don't like Kai Havertz in midfield. But for that one game against Crystal Palace, it did work. But we don't want to keep seeing that, in the next game, like on Boxing Day and so forth. But yeah, it was a good result. I did quite like the 2 goals from Jesus. Now, I actually said this to my mate who's an Arsenal fan. I said, you watch. I said, the January transfer window is just around the corner. I said, Jesus to start scoring. I said, knowing our luck, Havertz to start scoring. And Mikel Arteta say, oh, we don't need to sign a striker in January. And then all those goals that they most probably end up scoring, that will soon phase out. Honestly, it's predicted. It's typical Arsenal Football Club. That is typical.
Yeah, I expect us to be out of it by March.
Yeah,
you know, and I know, Anthony, that Jesus is not going to do this week in and week out against every team. No. Right? It just ain't going to happen. And Havertz to me is done. It's a failed experiment. I wanted Arteta out, this season since the Bournemouth game. I don't have any sympathy for a manager that rips up the spine of the squad. Like, you have to either play Gabriel or Saliba in every game. It's got to be one or the other. If it's not both, right, fine. But damn if I see Kiwior and Timber in there again at center back. I mean, it's just, like I said, if you're not going to play Saliba, play Gabriel. We need that leadership in the back. We need that connection with Raya and one of those center backs in every game, if it's one or the other or both, like I said. And then you take the spine out of the squad, completely moving Thomas Partey to right back. I mean, that whole thing was just to accommodate another player. We know who that player is. It's to accommodate Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all to accommodate him and what he brings to the table, which is absolute dog shit.
True.
The goals
I think he's got something
are so much better than the ones Havertz have put in. I mean, we've seen it. Goals off his head, tap-ins, off his ankle, his shoulder. I mean, the one against Bolton, he blasted in there. But other than that, Jesus has proved that I know he's not a striker, but in the last 2 or 3 games, he's been on it. I mean, even when he's missed, just shots on target, he's at least hitting the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'm done with Havertz. I think it's absolute waste of money. I don't like his performance. I don't like his attitude. I don't like really anything about what he brings to the club. It just slows everything down, and I absolutely hate the man. That sounds horrible. Merry Christmas,
Hearing this, James, that makes you feel better being a West Ham fan.
Someone's hate on this geezer, for fuck's sake.
I said on the show a while ago, I reckon there's something in Havertz's contract where he's got to play a certain amount of games.
Right.
Honestly,
thank you, Edu.
That was dark, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's just he's getting a lump of coal for this fucking stocking. I don't rate him at all. And you know why we played him up front. Jez knows this. Anthony, I mean, even you guys, even Chocolate Milk Man Fuzzy knows why. It's because he gets lost anywhere else on the pitch. If he's not up top, he doesn't know where the fuck to be. And it just showed it again. I mean, even though we thrashed Palace, but was he that instrumental in it? Not really. I'm just over it. The 65 million wasted, like Aaron said.
Oh, you're a fine man, though. If you want to give him a lump of coal, because he ain't getting fuck all from me.
I'll give him an ass kicking and a lump of coal and take his car and his woman. He's not careful.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Darren's asking the question: what do you think about Brian being linked with Arsenal? Nah.
Great link. Move on.
Nah.
You've got more chance of getting some of it than Bowen. So
he's saying those, Declan overpriced, but I like him and I hope he stays.
Same.
Overpriced? What's all that about, son? You paid the proper price for a proper player. The problem is, I'll say this: Arteta don't play him in the proper position. Like, people are trying to make Declan Rice in a box-to-box midfielder. He's not that. You put him as a DM, he'd be a very good DM for you. So you stick him as a DM, and then you allow 2 people to go further forward, and you say, "Deck, you stay in front of the back 4 or the 2 centre halves." You got a quality DM there.
Yeah. Which way round would you put it? Declan Rice as your 6 and Thomas Partey and like that Granit Xhaka like role, or do you do it the other way around?
There's the Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey, mate. You stick him in front of you stick him in that 6 role, he'd be a very good player. The problem is Deck, and Tone can vouch for this. Towards the back end of the West Ham era with Declan Rice, he tried to dictate where he was playing, and that's where it was fucking us up a little bit. Like, he was trying to play box to box, and he wants to score goals, he wants to do this. It's not his game, mate. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. No, he's a great player, Declan Rice. Yeah, but he's a DM. He's a very good DM. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
He's not left eight the way we've been playing with him. We're playing with Thomas Partey as well, and it only would work for me if you're trying to shut out a game in the last 20 minutes. The formation of the 4-3-3 does not work with Thomas Partey at the 6 and Declan Rice at the left eight. Right. It would work if we played a 4-2-3-1 where you could have Thomas and Declan at that base. But we've obviously moved away from that formation. It just doesn't work. And
the thing there's not many DMs who can pick the ball up and drive. And we all know, you know it. I ain't got to tell you. So we definitely know it because we've seen it so many times where he can pick the ball up and drive through a midfield on his own. Do you know what I mean? The problem is he's trying to play a box-to-box
game where it just, for me, do Arsenal need another box-to-box midfielder? You got Eldegaard there, like you got Rice there. I think Rice is a DM, right? And that's where Arteta's trying to change him to a point. Like if Arteta just says, right, you play as a DM, you go and get another player like an Eldegaard who can play with Eldegaard, then it's a completely different ball game. Because Deck will cover the whole of the defensive area, right? And that's what you want, really. Like if you don't concede goals, you ain't gonna lose games. So I just feel like he's trying to. I think it's on Declan Rice. Also, I think he's trying to change the way he plays, but I don't think that's right. And I think it's on Arteta to try and who's changing him into that player, which I don't think is right either. To be honest.
Yeah, he needs to learn as well that it ain't working. Because to take this for an instance, Thomas Partey spent a lot of last season out. So it was quite easy to just slot Declan Rice in the sixth, and there's no coincidence that he was reeling off man of the match after man of the match performances. Why? Because he was playing in his bloody preferred position.
Right.
You know, it's not rocket science.
I mean, Jez, before you go, Jez, I mean, what do you make of the comments on Rice?
If he gets back to how he was, and it was a good display yesterday, scoring a nice goal, fair play. If he gets back to how he was last season, brilliant. I don't know what happened with him. He dropped off the scale a little bit. Yesterday put in a great shift. And let's hope it continues, because after we spent 105 bloody million on him, I expect a lot more. I won't lie. I don't know what happened at the Euros. Don't know what, but something went wrong. And it's taken a little bit of time to come back.
What would you say he is, position-wise?
Say again, mate.
What would you say Declan Rice is preferred position at Arsenal?
Defensive midfielder, to be honest.
There you go, mate. Like, I just feel. Listen, Rice is not a bad player. And me and Tone could definitely vouch for him on that. But when I look at him at Arsenal, they're trying to make him into something he ain't.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you try and make someone into something they ain't, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
It don't work.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
To me, his natural position is defensive midfielder, and that's.
I would guarantee it, Jez. And I say this 100%. If Arteta was to leave tomorrow, new manager comes in, I would have absolute money on it that he'll go, right, Declan Rice, you stay as a DM.
Yeah.
100%. And he'll say, you ain't moving over the fucking halfway line.
Arteta's an arrogant prick. He thinks he's better than what he is, right? And he don't coach anybody into a better position.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and who knew that we could get a right-footed player play on the right yesterday, Martinelli? I mean, come on, man.
Do you know what I think reaffirms the whole points as well? Is that you can sort of see that Declan Rice, like some sort of defensive midfielders, isn't not failed, Cam. That's unfair to say it, but he hasn't sort of gone from an attacking sort of centre midfielder to go into the defensive side of it. You can see that he's a centre back, and he's played that for a lot of his sort of career at youth level and sort of whatever going into that midfield. And I've noticed that a lot when he first come, and I was watching it from my seat at the Emirates. You could see him gravitating towards areas in the defence where a ball would come in, and I'm thinking that's where a centre back would stand. And a lot of the time, he was clearing everything. That's because his natural thought is defense, getting in them positions is natural to him. You know, I'm not saying that he's a bad footballer, but you can see that he's not, you know, he hasn't come from attack to defense. You can see that he's come from, you know, defense to sort of that midfield, sort of that way. And I just
that's
can't
like making
understand
Rodri. That's like making Rodri a box-to-box midfielder.
It's sort of mad to me. You know, his instincts are defensive. He's but his instincts are there, not forward. Do you know what I mean? They're all there. Why would you get rid of that? And especially the proof's in the pudding, because he was great for Arsenal there. So it's not as if we're just going, well, he hasn't done it for Arsenal. He's done it for Arsenal there. We even know now where his best position is, and of course, West Ham fans absolutely do. It's just madness to me, you know, that we've sort of gone away from that. If you want to try him at left-sided 8, but really you need to pick up very quickly that it isn't bloody working and then revert back. You know, and that's what Arteta, he takes too long to learn things.
No, it's
Aaron,
true. It's
let me
true.
ask you, Aaron, what do you think about one area on the left, Rice on the 6, and Odegaard on the right?
Yeah, mate. Do you know what? I've said this on my channel. Yeah. I cannot conceive the thought of that. Mikel Arteta can't see them playing in the same team. It's madness. But do you know why? It's because he's the worst in-game tactical manager probably in the history of management. It's frustrating that, and I was absolutely gobsmacked that he put Martinelli on the right-hand side. What does he do when he actually shakes things up when Saka got injured? Martinelli assists and he scores a goal. Because, you know, it's just showing something a little bit different. Everyone knows what Martinelli's going to do on the left-hand side. You make a little tactical change, and it's impactful. But he will not do that. Arteta. I don't know why.
Aaron, sorry.
Aaron,
Sorry.
Jez,
Got to go.
Jez,
Hi,
thanks
Jez.
so much for coming on. Have a great Christmas with you and your family and that, and look forward to the new year, mate.
Have a good
You're
one,
doing a show
Jez.
tomorrow night, aren't you? You're doing a show tomorrow night as well?
Was that?
Yeah, 7:30 Christmas show, man. Bit like this one. Tomorrow night, I'll be dragging a few people on, even if they don't want to be there. I'll drag them on anyway. It is what it is. And all you guys have a great Christmas and enjoy the football wherever you're going, whatever you're playing. Have a good time. And as always, mate, thanks for inviting me on, as always.
You're welcome.
And Fuzzy, cheer up, mate. It is Christmas. It's only
Chocolate milk, you'll be all right.
you know, we've all been there. And it is what it is, man. But yeah, I'll be
Can't even say we're going through our own Arteta 8th place finishes at the moment because we're way below that.
I might be dragging on Tractor tomorrow night. He always talks bollocks at Christmas. You know what I mean? Getting Dal on. Darren's coming on. A few other people as well.
If the invite's still there, Jez, I'll jump on, mate.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know you're welcome, man. You know that.
Yeah.
Anybody, all of you boys are welcome. You know, I have no agenda.
Does Anthony have to join?
Well, Anthony's a bit of an issue, isn't he? He's a bit of a one. You know what I mean? But I'll be sending you out tomorrow, boys. If you want to join, you can join. If you don't, you don't. That's up to you.
No, thanks, Jez.
That's the way to put it, Jez.
Thanks for coming on, mate. Anyway, appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'll be honest, I'm feeling a bit knackered now after a bit of a stressful day. But
yeah, betcha.
And I'll catch you all later, boys.
Yeah,
take
care,
Jez.
Big
up,
Jez,
man.
Take care.
Take care, man. Take care.
Just a quick one. First off, good evening, guys. Good evening,
Good evening, Uncle.
Good evening. Listen, I've got to do a show, match reaction show now, yeah. But when I finish that, I'll jump back on. I'll jump back on there. You know what I mean? Be about half an hour or so.
No
I'll jump,
worries.
yeah, because you're always inviting me, so I have to make an appearance on your show, man. Now he's been inviting me for the last couple of weeks, man.
Well,
I've seen the message the next day and I thought, oh shit, I've got
as Macy says there, look, she says Liverpool Godzilla and that, and obviously for Christmas and that, top of the table, mate. So
it's good. I mean, it was a really good game. It was a really good game.
Great game.
It's a great game for the new. But listen, give me half an hour and I'll jump back on. Yeah?
No worries. No worries. Cheers,
okay,
mate.
no worries,
See you soon. I thought Fuzzy would have cheered up by now. Fuzzy's not cheered up yet.
Fucking hell, I'm at the bottom. Why am I at the bottom?
Well, you know.
Fuzzy, you should be at the bottom. Right.
Fix it up, Tony.
Bournemouth. Question on Bournemouth. Fortunately, you controlled the game.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't controlled this game as much as we've controlled some other games, but I mean, you know, in terms of you know, our possession and our shots on target, and you know, we were just more clinical really today. There was large parts of the game that we kind of controlled, especially at the beginning of the game. But yeah, we controlled the spells that we did have, you know, possession pretty well. But yeah, that's. I mean, if you watch the game today, I wouldn't say that was Bournemouth's best performance of the season. It was a good performance. We've played better this season.
Thank you, Henry.
But yeah, I mean, 40% possession, away from home isn't bad. And, our pass accuracy today was a little bit poor, in fairness. I think it was under 80%. I think we've been mostly this season above the 80% mark. So, yeah, no, all in all, yeah, very happy with the Spurs that we did control. And, when it was important, we were clinical. And obviously the penalty did help as well, but that was a blatant penalty. I don't think we can really argue that one. But, yeah, all in all, very happy with how we controlled the game. But, yeah, I would say if you've watched that game today and you haven't seen any other games that we've played this season, it's definitely not our best performance on the eye. But, yeah, we did the job.
Yeah, all you had to see, Matt, was it was just a walk in the park, mate. That was all you had to say.
Too much.
Yeah, I mean, United, in fairness to United, I thought they got into the game a little bit towards the end of probably the last 15 minutes of the first half, and spells in the second half. They just couldn't seem to finish. I mean, there was a few chances towards the end of the game which were just, weren't. They didn't really test Kepa. But yeah. All in all, very happy to get a win at Old Trafford.
Another one.
Why so serious, Fuzz?
Another one.
Well, I'd just like to say congratulations to Bournemouth on their highest ever home attendance record. I mean, Old Trafford's the only club in the world to own 2 stadiums by the looks of it. Just a home game for you.
Those ain't leaking though.
Fuzz,
I'm around the change things. He'll fix it up.
Don't look at me. He's not happy. He's not happy at all.
I love it when Fuzz is in the mud.
When am I not in the mud?
You're doing a reaction show, Fuzz. You're doing a reaction show.
Who you got next, Fuzz?
Probably tomorrow. Wolves away, so in perfect time for them to absolutely slap us up.
Big 1-1 draw.
And then I think after that it's Anfield away.
It's Anfield, yeah.
So that doesn't stop them.
And then after that, it's Arsenal in the FA Cup.
Alex Ferguson is in attendance.
So for the next 3 weeks, Fuzz is going to be looking there. He looks now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, sorry. I forgot. In between Wolves and Liverpool is Newcastle.
Is that away? Is it?
Home.
Oh, you might have, yeah.
I love it.
Can I just say as well quickly, fair play to Bournemouth. It's got to get to the stage where they're probably, like when you're looking at that stage of the season where you're thinking, where's your 3 points coming from? They'll probably look at Man United and go, oh, well, there's definitely 3 points. Oh, it's Old Trafford, oh, definitely 3 points. Fair dues to Bournemouth.
That's how Southampton are feeling.
I love it.
Yeah. I just want to add fair play to Bournemouth as well. I feel that it's like what Matt said. When you watch the game, it was good. It was a good game. I mean, I thought Bournemouth, in all fairness, because we lost to Bournemouth as well, 2-0, didn't we? And I felt Bournemouth was better in the Arsenal game than obviously what they was in the Man United game. But obviously, with Bournemouth playing Man United, 5th gear's eye, they only had to go into 1st gear, and that was just enough. So, actually, don't put it in reverse. That was better. And 3-0. Attention, Bournemouth are reversing. What?
Did I give props to Bournemouth too? I just want to say that silky play you guys executed against United was fantastic. The pen was well deserved. Justin Kluivert for English squad. Let's go. Yeah, put those United scumbags in the mud.
Is there anything you want to say, Tim?
I'm going to get a Bournemouth shirt for this Christmas, Anthony. What about you?
What about you, Tom?
What's that, mate? Sorry?
What about you, Tom? Do you want to say anything on the game?
Cheers to Bournemouth.
The United Bournemouth game? Oh,
fuzzy.
E20. Does he want to say anything? Do you want to say anything about Paul?
I thought, listen, Bournemouth were a good side, mate. They had a tricky task on Monday night against us. They managed to score a free kick out of this world, but Fabianski was like a rock.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Other than that, And I called it on my channel. I just said, like, you know what? This is a banker draw written all over it. So as long as we can score first, we've got a chance of getting something at the game, and exactly how it is. They're a good side, Bournemouth, mate. And fair play to them. I remember when they played my local side, Dagenham and Redbridge, in League Two, I think it was.
Yeah, League Two. Yeah, League Two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're coming down to Dagenham, a big army of fans, and and I look at them now in the Premier League. They've got a good manager and all. And do you know what? I'm all for it because they're a community-based club. And there's very rare. There's a lot of community-based clubs anymore. Do you mean not franchise clubs? There's very rare these community-based clubs. So you know what? Fair play to them, mate. At the end of the day,
true.
It goes a long way to help out. You know what I mean? Especially when a team's done so well over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, look, Damien's saying here, the Terrence. I mean, he's tired of people saying the West Ham way. We need to look forward and away from survival. Great cup, yes, but we've got to look at 3 points. Die hard hammer. We need change, and I think the West Ham way.
That fucking grinds me, mate. Honestly, mate. I've done half a bottle of Jack Daniels, and that still fucking grinds me. Honestly, the West Ham way is the biggest myth I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I want West Ham to play well, but I think like any supporter, any like true supporter of any club, whether you're Arsenal, Bournemouth, whoever, the first thing you want is your team to win.
No, absolutely.
Right, or basically your team not to lose. Right, like. I think with Arsenal fans, it's a bit different. They want to win, right? But with us, right, when we're playing a side and a good side, I think we look at it and go, well, we don't want to lose this game. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And we respect it in a different way. This West Ham way stuff, mate. Fucking biggest myth going.
In Man United's case, it's just we hope not to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Man United's case.
Yeah,
play to not be embarrassed.
Yeah, Dal, I think I heard your name being called. I heard your name being called. You're up next. Are you the colour of that? Are you in a brothel?
Me? No, it's all the lighting. I wish.
The ones who are laughing know what a brothel looks like.
If we see some dolly bloke come out of them doors at the back there, we'll know where you are.
I'm popping out of the chat. Believe me, if some big hooters go walking by.
Mate, Dal's on about 10 grand since he's been on this stream, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's loving it.
Yeah, this is great. I love bigging up Bournemouth, especially with United in the mud. And I got up this morning to watch absolutely Liverpool demolish Spurs. It was fucking fantastic. That was a great game today. Yeah, I don't at this point, I don't think if we're going to win it, I'd rather have Liverpool win it than any other Prem side, to be honest. Not that I'm a Liverpool fan, but it ain't going to be United, it ain't going to be Chelsea, it's certainly not Spurs. I'd rather have West Ham win it than any of those other clubs.
We like that.
What do you think of Chelsea this season?
They're good.
Go ahead. They're decent. I think their defense is a little hit or miss, but their attack is probably one of the best in the Prem.
Is it more that, like, even today, for instance, they draw with Everton, and it's like, if you're going to win the league, you got to go to Everton and win, ain't you? Let's be honest.
We did the same.
Yeah.
Everton are good, man. They're not like good, right? The dark arts, Sean Dyche has it figured out. He knows how to beat the clubs like us with one-touch passing. He knows how to kind of just eliminate that, right? Just sit extra time on penalties, or not penalties, extra time on set pieces, taking their time throwing it in. They're big, tall, and strong. They just look to hoof it up the pitch, and it's hard to defend against, and it's hard to attack against when they do the low block.
Big up to just had to interrupt. Sorry, guys. Just had a big up to Lee Gunner for sending these people over. Rat Army in the building, as they're saying there. So thanks for doing that. Sorry for
beating Everton's not for everybody. I will carry that torch to the grave.
Fuck, we drew Neil with him and all.
We drew with Everton. We could beat Everton. Jesus, we could beat them.
That was a horrid game against Everton, Anthony. That was.
It was dire. So it was nothing kidding. It was flat. It's like going out and calling a woman, and when she takes her clothes off, you think, bloody hell, she's flat chested. Jesus. Yeah, it was one of those. Honestly, it seriously, it was one of those.
Nothing worked, and I don't know why it doesn't work against Everton, but it works perfectly against Sporting Lisbon. It works great against West Ham, and it worked great against Crystal Palace. But why can't? Like, I just don't know why we can't break down that low block. And it's been a problem for us the last 2 seasons. This isn't
Don't
the
look
first
at
time.
don't look at the game against us, mate. We're fucking shit.
How can we go score like 16 goals or 18 goals and concede 4, right? And then just have a complete shutdown at Everton. Like, I just
Is the manager is Deutsch. That manager is so defensive, but he's well at organising his defence and the team. He'll get 11 men behind the ball, and they'll just attack you on the break.
What
you know,
would
I mean,
say your style of play is?
Shit.
So basically, what it is, because from an outsider looking in, I see Arsenal as basically every time there's a corner, they're very good. They're like that set piece coach. He's very good. Like, I mean, like, and they score their goals. Yeah. But then when you go up against Everton, who are a set piece team, it's a different game, isn't it? Altogether, because they know exactly how to defend set pieces.
Do you know what? I think we've been found out by that, because you look at the Palace game. Hardly none of them was scored by set pieces, and Monaco in the Champions League, they sussed us out completely.
Yeah.
So even though we beat them 3-0, we had to score from open play, basically. So that was only going to last a short period of time, on those set pieces, and it was. I told Tony that. I said that in our show. It was only going to last at a certain time. It comes to a certain stage where Arsenal, I think, we're the team in the Premier League that's so predictable. That's why we struggle to pick up points. Like the Everton game. I'm not being funny. I thought we were going to win that. I said 2-0. I predicted 2-0 for Arsenal to beat Everton. No chance.
Well, let me counter that, Anthony. Let me counter our style of play, because if you look at Sporting Lisbon, if you look at the West Ham game, and certainly the Crystal Palace game yesterday, our style of plays was different than it was against Everton, right?
Yeah.
So I still think Arteta hasn't figured it out completely yet. I mean, after we had that great defensive display against City, remember, we've now been labeled a great defensive side, which has never really been true, right? I mean, Tony Adams, we can talk all about that, but that's like E20 said, that's another era of football. Yeah. So why can talk? Like, I don't talk about the Invincibles, ours is gold, all that bullshit. That's 20 years ago. We're talking 2 eras of football have gone by since then. So with related to a style of play, though, if we have the ability to adjust to be defensive and attacking, I'm okay with that. But the problem I have with it is that some games we just stick defensive, like the Everton game, right? And we even kind of did that. Who else was in the mix? And Fulham, right? We kind of just went on this defensive thing. And then it's like Arteta then believes, or I think he believes that, the defensive side is working okay, and it looks good. Now let's try working on the attack for the next match, right? And that's when we went, I thought, to Sporting Lisbon and put a pounding on them. You know, when we attack, it looks great, right? But as long as Kai Havertz isn't in there doing Kai Havertz things, right? As long as he's actually on the ball and paying attention, like Aaron has talked about before, right? Because he gets sidetracked, it looks like, in there. So I don't know, Anthony. I think our style of play is just he's making those decisions now dependent on the opposition.
Yeah. Can I add on to this as well? Just quickly, to just dispel the fact that we're really bad against low blocks, because we are, and I know exactly why we are, and other teams aren't, because we haven't got enough match winners. It's as simple as that. Like, do you not think Manchester City over the years haven't been phenomenal against maybe that, but they've had Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Mahrez over the years, Aguero's. They've always got about 4+ match winners in the squad. Look at the Liverpool squads. Arsenal, we've got one-ish match winner, and it's called Bukayo Saka, and when he's not on form, we've got none. So actually, everyone has to face these horrible low blocks. Right. But the teams with excellent players in there, 4 or 5 match winners, they find a way. And we haven't got that. And that's exactly why we struggle against low blocks, because we haven't got enough of them top level players. So when it's, backs against the wall, we need a bit of magic. Like when we had a bit of magic back in the day, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Pires, let's just keep going. You know what I mean? Patrick Vieira would find that Ivan Needle ball. You know, we just haven't got.
Yeah,
that
but you've only
anymore.
got.
And that's why we
When,
struggle.
when I look at Arsenal, and I remember them back in the day with Henri, Perez, Lundberg, Vieira, Petit, all them.
Yeah.
They was top class. Some of them was world class players. Yeah. When I look at Arsenal now, I would say they've got 3 players in their ranks who are world class: Saliba, Saka, and probably Eldegaard. Gabriel is a tricky one for me. I don't know with him, but Saliba.
He's a second defender, isn't he? I always sort of think over the years, very rarely do you get 2. You always have a number 1 defender over the years, and you always have a number 2. And you can go with that for Arsenal. You've always had Adams and Campbell and you know, I think it's Saliba and sort of with this you can look at John Terry and you know you can go to Manchester United centre backs.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Aaron. I get what you're saying, but in all fairness, Gabriel's been our best defender this season. He's been better than Saliba.
I will concede that this season he has been a little bit better. I can't argue against that. But I just sort of think when we're talking about levels all round, if someone was to be poached by a top club out of their either ceiling now or where they're at, it's probably going to be Saliba over Gabriel.
It'd be Saliba, yeah.
And that's not because Gabriel is the better all rounder.
Because on your free kicks, it's always Gabriel that seems to be in the box.
Yeah,
he's phenomenal. It's always Gabriel.
I just think Gabriel's more vocal too, and he's pointing players out. He's yelling at players. I don't think Saliba does that much. He's pretty quiet, that quiet leadership style.
Yeah.
While Gabriel is up there, you know, yelling in people's faces.
He's like a Martin Keown, isn't he? That sort of ish.
I think Saliba leads by example, though. Like,
he does. He does.
He hasn't got a shout because he does all the basics very, very good. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas Gabriel is more vocal. Because you're more vocal doesn't mean to say that you're better. Because Saliba is just a better. I just think he's a better. I think he's a proper good player. I think what Arsenal done with him was a very good thing that they done. They loaned him out to Marseille. They give him a year of basically working with him, integrating him back into the side, and like they're going to reap their rewards with him. Like he's an £100 million defender.
I think he won the French Cup too. I think he won the French Cup that year.
And he's a very good player. The thing is with Arsenal, it's an hard one because I look at them and I think from an outside looking in, a striker is 100% needed, and I think they need about 4 or 5 players in their ranks. I think they're 4 players definitely short. If they get 5, then they've got a quality sort of reinforcements off the bench. But when you look at Arsenal's bench, it doesn't match Liverpool's or City's or Chelsea's to a point. Do you know what I mean? And that's where the problem is. Arteta's trying to play with 11 men all the time and basically bring on 3 subs.
No,
he needs to realise that it's 5 subs.
The same 3, the same positions.
Let's just say goodbye to Hot Fuzz 44. He's bouncing off now. Fuzzy, thanks for being with us. Yeah, exactly. And,
have a nice one, mate.
It does get better. It does get better. Trusting from a West Ham fan, it does get better.
Like fucking hell.
Yeah.
Have a good Christmas, Buzz.
All the best, mate.
Even West Ham.
Just put that
Oh, see you later, Fuzz, mate.
See you later, Buzz.
2-1. Oh, 2-1, Fuzz.
3-0, Fuzz.
3-0.
Ravi says Fuzz got to watch the Class 92 videos there. Look.
Manchester United is greatest hit from 1999. I mean.
We watch look at the Beckham ads.
Bless him.
I think I'm going to have to message him saying, just check in to see if he's all right.
Yeah. Asking for a friend, basically.
Too kind, Anthony, mate. What a gentleman.
He is.
Wow. People in the chat, if you want to have the opportunity to come on and say, Merry Christmas or whatever, or have your little say in that, I'm just going to put the link into the chat there now. If you want to come on board, just to say hello.
How have you found it, Tone? Sorry to interrupt you, son, but how have you found it this year with the old YouTube? Because I remember you was like, I'm an hour about it to a point.
I was, mate. Yeah, and I'm not being funny. I mean, there's some good people that you get to kind of meet up and chat with and that, and
Yeah.
I know reaching out to you and vice versa. It's worked out pretty well, building a relationship with you and that. Obviously, Fuzzy and Anthony, we do our regular show on the Wednesdays. Dow, when he decides he wants to come on,
There's an 8-hour difference.
That's no excuse. That's no excuse. It's a smaller world these days.
I know. I was looking forward to the invite today. I honestly was. I figured there might be one, but I was out shopping, so I got.
The thing is,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's how you treat it, Tone. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you got to basically, if you have, as I said to you before, you have a schedule and you do it to sort of how you sort of go around your life. Basically, it's a piece of piss, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
you can make a video out of nothing, if I'm being honest. But do you know what? One thing I will say about YouTube, you do meet some proper fans, and you do meet some fans. And I think with football currently right now, I said it earlier on with West Ham, when it comes to sort of a franchise and things like that, it just dilutes it, mate. Like, I'm not being funny. I can see a passionate fan, like whether it's an Arsenal fan or a Bournemouth fan,
Right.
like someone who feels it in there will feel it more than someone who's just going to watch a game of football. And you know what I mean. You will get to the 1,000, son. Do you know what I mean? Just don't get to 4,000. Hey, say that there a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm pleased with you, mate. I really am.
No, thank you, mate. I mean, like it's been hard work, and that. I mean, obviously, I know Anthony and Fuzzy have a little laugh with me and that with the notes and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's as you said, getting a schedule going, doing the kind of shows that I've been or the content I've tried to do. It seems to work, and I've got to thank like Anthony and Fuzzy for the Wednesday show, because obviously it's something that we all decided together, and you've been in the chat. You've been on one of the shows we invited you on at one point. That format works pretty well. This one, it's what we're doing there. Basically, it's just a case of
open all hands, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
getting everyone to come on and chat.
This one, isn't it?
Yes,
I mean, obviously, this one's a good
We'll
one.
come
You
on
get
and
your
have a
hair
try.
down, you talk about football, apart from team, but
only him. He's happy. He's the happiest geezer here.
Well,
Says your cat that smile, isn't it? Jesus.
If Uncle comes back on again, you're seeing his smile bigger than what Matty's
smile
doing.
breaks hearts, mate. That's what I'm saying.
Breaks Man United's hearts, breaks Fuzzy's hearts, and all, doesn't it?
Big Fuzzy crying his chocolate milk.
Well,
that's
the
first time I've seen Fuzzy leaves.
Yeah,
he normally stays to the end.
Anthony, he's not even had a chocolate milk today.
He
didn't even have a. Yeah, he didn't even have a chocolate milk. He's
God, he hasn't had his fuel. Oh,
he's probably had to run to the store. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Take his Christmas money, run down to the shop.
Motherfucker saying, just look at this rogues gallery. Yes.
Hey, the Toon are someone we should be fearful of coming up, my fellow Arsenal Gooners, because they want that cup just as bad as we do. I don't want it all that bad, but hey, it would be something for us to have. I know it's not the end all be all of competitions, but Newcastle, they've scored eight goals in 2 games.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I do think it'd be a Liverpool and Newcastle final. I reckon that'd be the final of the Carabao Cup. We ain't winning it. We ain't going to get in that final. I reckon Newcastle will beat us, and we're locked out.
I'm going to disagree. I don't know. I disagree. I know where you're probably coming from. They're in a bit of form with that first leg at the Emirates. Yes, they have came and they've got sort of niggly draws there. I remember a couple of years ago, I'd actually left where I was doing a little bit of college for my electrics to drive all the way down in the evening. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff around Christmas, and it was a 0-0, and the ball had been in play. I think the least it had ever been in the Premier League. So they can stick the place out there for us. But, look at last year. We rolled them over 4-0. I know we're not in the best form, but I think we could take somewhat of a nice lead. Even if it's 2-0, you look at the results in previous seasons at Newcastle, they've been tight. All right, we haven't had a really good results there. We've lost the last 2 seasons, 1-0, I believe. But I just reckon if we could sort of have a reasonably good sort of start at the Emirates, you know, and go there with a 2-goal sort of advantage, we could also then, you know, their tactics don't then work, do they? You know, trying to nullify us because they've got to come out and play. And that's sort of my thinking around that. You know, it's probably a little bit of an advantage having that home leg first, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, you know, if we take any form of lead in there, they can't just sit and stink the place out. They've got to come at us. They could work against us.
Remy just saying. Sorry, Darryl, I just come in the comments. Obviously, a really good channel, great guest and panel. Yeah, definitely great guest on there all the time. James, you actually broke into that, JD. It seems gone down a little.
I have, mate. Yeah,
I've
done.
He's drinking it in a pint glass, isn't he? I love it.
Mate, I
thought he'd gone down a bit.
I ain't fucking about tonight, gents.
Well, there's no fucking about.
Someone doesn't have to work on Monday morning.
No fucking about, mate. I'm drowning my sorrows of doing off a take at my club. You know what I mean?
That bottle of Jack Daniels has actually stayed like that in the bottle. It hasn't gone down.
Yeah,
no, mate. I'll tell you what, it will go down in a minute, Anthony. When I reload.
He's got a pint glass, mate. That's going to significantly go down, isn't it?
Mate, so my fucking headache tomorrow morning.
Well, that's why you save a little bit for the morning. That's why you save a little bit for the morning, isn't it? Get rid of it.
Yeah. And have a pint of GT with a splash of
not now, love. Leave me alone.
Yeah. The kid's jumping on your head. Listen, you just piss off out the bedroom. I'll be with you in about half hour.
Dow's brothel. Leave me alone, Mrs.
Yeah, exactly. That's
yeah. No kids allowed in there. This is where kids ain't made in Dow's brothel.
What's that? No.
Matt saying, been an absolute pleasure being part of your community, Tony. Top bloke and top guest and top people in the chat too. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there is some top people in here as always. We do love doing this. And yeah, James, going back to what you said on that. I mean, yeah, it was a point where you do and ahhing about it.
Yeah.
But at the same point, you do kind of get, I wouldn't say get a buzz, but you do, don't you, really? But it's doing something like this and talking and getting the feedback and the interaction.
Well, what it is, your content's a bit different to probably all the other lads, like because all the other lads concentrate on their own clubs. Do you know what I mean? Like probably Matt concentrates on Bournemouth, I do West Ham, like all the other boys do their Arsenal stuff and etc. So I can understand it. It's nice to have a mixture of different opinions. Do you know what I mean? Like when I'm seeing all the Arsenal fans having a meltdown, I'm thinking, fuck me, they ain't got Luger and Lopetegui. I think, you know what, I'm gonna have another scotch and just chill out.
Let me ask you West Ham guys this. There was a question. I was on a show last night and somebody brought up about Arsenal, their fans being what's the term? Kind of stuck up or privileged. Like we're privileged. Like a lot of other fans see us being privileged. I don't think it's privileged. I think we have
standards.
We just have desire. You know. Do you guys think we're privileged in any way? Does that come from something that I don't know about?
Fucking standards, Sullivan.
You're asking the wrong people for being West Ham.
Hey,
I know.
In 14 years, I mean, that's not fucking standards. That's shit.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it from an Arsenal's point of view, in that you got to think, and you know, Anthony says it quite a few times. The fact of it's 20 odd years when you was winning things on a regular, consistent basis.
Right.
Now is the case of yes, you're playing better football. But at the same point, you know full well there's that final piece that's still missing that you cannot feel or fit
what
in.
What it is, Tom, with Arsenal is when you look at the likes of the players that they've had, in all seriousness, they've had some world-class players in their ranks. Yeah. Some of the players that have been some of the best that the Premier League's ever have seen. When you look at them now, like I think, and I will give Arteta credit, he has took them from a club that wasn't going there to a club who's there, but I don't think he's the man to take them to the golden era, and that's coming from West Ham fan. So when I look at where they are and where they've been, they are a club that is rich in history, and especially in the Premier League era. Yeah, with like '98, obviously winning the double, and Henry, and like the 2003, I think it was when they went Invincible, or whenever it was like. And I think Arsenal fans look back at that. And what is it? 20 years now since they won the Premier League, isn't it?
21
years. Yeah. So they're looking at it and thinking, well, come on, this is our time now. But it all depends on really, like, because Arsenal had a lot of problems with their owners for a long time, and I think they still. I don't know whether they still have or not, but obviously the move from Highbury to the Emirates was a big thing back in the day where there
Same
wasn't.
for us, isn't it? That's the similarities, isn't it?
And it goes down the road. But I can understand it. I can understand why they've been an established club. They've won trophies, and they want to win them again.
Look,
I still
James,
think-
mate, we
Yeah.
knocked down a wonderful stadium in Highbury where we was very, very, very successful. And when we knocked it down, we'd been into a Champions League final that season. The season before we won an FA Cup, and the season before we went invincible. So we was very successful up until the knocking down of that. And the reason why we knocked that down was in our owners or chief executive, even Gazidis' words, was to compete with the likes of Real Madrid and the Bayern Munichs and things like that.
Right.
And we never saw it. We haven't saw it compete. We lost 10-2 on bloody aggregate to them.
Right.
How is that competing? Oh, and I was at the home leg, and I was going to go to the away leg, but I won't say why not. But I was at the home leg, and it was and it was that made it 10-2. That's not competing. We sold our soul, and maybe you guys know about Upton Park. You sold somewhere you loved.
Mhm.
Where for something like that, and you're told this and all that.
I think what it is though
Not
with
good, is it?
views to us is we rent our gaff, and that's what hurts more than anything. Like when I look at West Ham right now, and I look at what we've become, it's painful. Like I'll be straight. Tony knows this. I ain't set foot in West Ham since 2016. So that's coming up to nearly 8-9 years, whatever it is. It's a long time. I won't set foot in that gaff until the owner's out the door. Because the thing is, when I look at it, we're not like Arsenal, and we're not like any other of the big clubs. We are a community-based club, a bit like Bournemouth to a point. I use Bournemouth as a prime example. Like we're a local area. We try and keep we try and integrate the youth and try and West Ham have been known for bringing good youngsters through and develop them and then send them on. The issue is when you look at us from the outside looking in, we rent our stadium. Our training ground is like something you would see over a five-a-side. And when you start going through it and breaking it down, you've got an owner in charge, and Tony could probably vouch for this, who really is sold West Ham soul to a point, which is sad, which is really sad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you are, and I said it earlier on, when you have got football fans in the LS rather than supporters, that's the biggest fear that I've got. Because I could see in 10 years' time, West Ham at the LS will have a lot more football supporters rather than football fans, rather than supporters. And that is a major concern because people won't feel the club. They'll be there to watch a football match, but they won't be able to feel how it is to be a supporter.
No, it's true. It's true. Just want to say to DJB, happy Christmas from Maguna. Big up to yourself, DJB. Always rely on Spurs to cheer us up, boys. Absolutely. That's what we're.
The gift that will always keep giving. Spurs give more gifts than Santa Claus every year, don't they? It's unbelievable, mate.
Happy Christmas to yourself as well, mate. Yeah. We are a good bunch. We are indeed, Mama. That's for sure. Bex with his blonde highlights. Remember those.
What do you make of that, Tone? What I just said about obviously the way it's gone for West Ham.
You're the two dogs.
I think the problem is it's the same old thing, isn't it? And it's the similarities that fear the two. Now, me mum saying, when you look at the fact we had the same thing. We're going to go to the London Stadium and we're going to compete with the boys in Europe. We're going to be with the big boys, and we was told all this stuff. You're going to be sitting like you are at Upton Park. You're going to be right next to that pitch, and then you're half a mile away. And the first time we kind of get into Europe and that, we failed miserably. And from that point onwards, we then appoint someone that should never been here in the first place in Pellegrini. And the way it went on and on and on, they dragged out. And, we brought in Kretinsky, which you thought, okay, this bloke's bought 27% into the club. Maybe he's going to buy a bit more. Maybe he's going to be a bit more of an influence. But then you find out, oh, no, Jan Sparta Prague, and he's more interested in that. He's got his fingers in other pies as well. And, he wants to buy the post office. So he's not looking to up any money into the club. So we've got to stick with Sullivan. Gold obviously went out past the rest in peace, poor sod. But we now got Kretinsky that's bought the post office. So Are we going to see any change from him? I doubt it very much.
Wow.
Investor, isn't he? So he is. So
and
he
this
is.
is the thing. So we are where we are at the moment, and the similarities between us and Arsenal is a fact of they went to the Emirates being told exactly the same thing, but the problem was we know at the end of the day they're miles above us.
I want to ask Matt something as a Bournemouth fan. How would you feel if you moved from Dean Court?
Yeah, it's no, I wouldn't like it. It's our spiritual home. I mean, I've been going there since I was like 4 years old. Yes, we've redeveloped the stadium over the years, but you know, it's kind of your home, isn't it? And like you say, it takes the soul out of you know, your club to a certain degree. And I mean, from our perspective, we are looking at building a new stadium. We've got to. We can't obviously carry on with, you know, the fan base is growing. You know, we can't continue with the 10,500 capacity that we have got. So we have got to redevelop. But luckily for us, it's looking like, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Dean Court before, but behind the stadium, we've got our training facility, which is moving across the other side of Bournemouth. That's set to open late January, I believe. And then the club is going to start developing a stadium behind our current stadium. So I think the important thing from Bournemouth's perspective is that we stay at Kings Park.
So it's going to be like Spurs then, to a point. Spurs done it. Because Spurs built on their existing ground and then basically moved it around to a point.
Is there living in shops there too? Sorry to interrupt. You're like shops and living, like condos and all this sort of.
No, nothing like that. It's literally a park. It's a massive recreational park, and so the stadium where we are at the minute, we will continue to use, but we're building a whole new stadium behind us. So it's not being built on top of our current stadium, because to be fair, we don't actually own 3 sides of our stadium, which is a very, very long story that goes years and years and years back. And the land that our stadium is built on can only be used for recreational use anyway, to my knowledge. So I got a funny feeling we may, I don't know if this is what the owner's thinking, it might be, it might not be, but I think once our new stadium is built and opened, which I believe his target is 2027, I believe he will buy back the 3 stands and we'll home the development squad and our ladies' games there. Obviously, the first team would be in the new stadium, which is set to be anything between 18 to 20,000 capacity. That's kind of the long-term plan. So we won't actually come out of Kings Park, which is what I'm really happy with. Because, you know, we've seen it all before. You know, like you guys at West Ham, when I've been there, and I think it's a terrible football stadium. I'm not going to lie. For football, it's terrible. You know, I didn't want something to happen like that. So, it looks like if the fans are staying as they are, we will be basically in the same area. Just
when you need binoculars to watch a game of football. Fucking hard, is it? Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah.
I mean, on that, Matt, I mean, why are they, you know, have you got enough fan base to be more than 18 to 20,000?
That's what I was just thinking too.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think the original idea was 18,000, which I think when you look at the away support, plus they want 2,000 of that capacity to be hospitality. It's not really giving Bournemouth fans more of a chance to get tickets. So I think anything between 22 and 25 would be a good number to start with. But with the way they're designing the stadium, the new stadium, there's going to be the chance to redevelop on top, you know,
So
add
you've got scope
tiers,
to
this,
do
that,
that
and
at
the other.
least.
So
Yeah.
I think they're building, you know, something fairly basic with a sort of 20,000 capacity.
What it is, what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to stabilise Bournemouth in the Premier League, and because just in case Bournemouth ever went down, just say for instance they're a bad season, they go down, and then
safeguard themselves.
They ain't going to get the 20,000 that they expected. So what they're doing, they're building up to it, So they're going to get the fan base in slowly over a period of time. Because what it is, Bournemouth's a holidays destination. Like it's not like it's a central hub, like to sort of the locals, but it's not out of that. Like with West Ham, it's a bit different. West Ham have got City Airport, we've got people flying in, and it's London, Docklands is just up the road. It's a bit like Arsenal. Like Arsenal, you can be in Arsenal in 15 minutes from West Ham. Do you know what I mean? So I can get it, but no, listen. Like, when I look at Bournemouth, I actually played for Bournemouth, really. If I'm being honest, because I look at them, I remember that when they nearly went out of business years ago, like a long time ago, and like when I look at the players that they got and the way they play, and do you know what? It's nice to see them sort of clubs, because I think the Premier League was always stuck with having the big clubs like Leeds all the time and all that, and it's nice to have a sort of club that sort of comes through the ashes, like a Phoenix club sort of thing, comes through and gets to the top. Do you know what I mean? It shows that it ain't about the money.
And stay there.
I actually agree. I quite like having Bournemouth in the Premier League. It's great.
I mean, you still get the comments of little old Bournemouth, and you see stuff on social media that I just completely ignore, to be honest. But you see stupid comments like silly little Bournemouth shouldn't be in the Premier League. But I've always said you get to somewhere on merit. So we've earned a place in the Premier League. We've won our promotions from the Championship. Like you've said,
getting to the Premier League is one thing, Matt, but staying there is a completely different thing. And we all know it. Like,
how many years now have you been there? Stayed there?
Well, the first time we were in there for 5 years, and now we've done 3. That's be our 3rd season now, back in there, with 2 seasons in the Championship in between. So,
the Championship is hard to win too, though, right? The Championship is that's not easy to get promoted, right? I mean, it's still 30
harder.
Championship,
the
Championship for me, I think, is probably one of the hardest leagues in the world.
Right.
I mean,
definitely
agree. So many clubs that I mean, you look at a side like Norwich, for example, that have yo-yoed between the Premier League and the Championship. I mean, they're not even having a great season this year, are they? I mean, it's a very, very, very difficult division to get out of, and we found that when we dropped back down, we managed to scrape the playoffs, and we didn't beat Brentford in the playoffs, and they obviously went on to get promoted that year, and we bounced back the second year. It's luckily our owner was dedicated to getting us back there at the time, which he did, but really tough league. I mean, Saturday Tuesday, it's and then your cup games as well.
You've only got to look at Leeds United, mate. Look at Leeds United. Like, they are an established Premier League club. I remember them back in the day when they had some of the best players going, like Kjell and Viduka and all them players.
It was incredible.
And you look at them now, then just
shadow.
Yeah, they're a bit like a yo-yo club to a point. Where they haven't really established it to a point. But and the thing is, it's hard to stay in the Premier League. That's why I think people get worried about getting relegated. Like, even us, like, listen, West Ham are never too good to get relegated. Even Tone can vouch for this. Like, every time I always think, let's get 40 points before we can celebrate anything.
My question for you, do you guys think from the outside that kind of rounds about to my question? Do you think us Arsenal fans are somewhat entitled? Like, we have some sense of, we're always going to be in the top 4 or top 6 now. But
Arsenal have a standard where they expect to be in the top 4, at least competing for the Premier League. It's a standard. It's not entitlement.
But honestly, West Ham have standards too, man. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I think there is certain Arsenal fans that do feel entitled that they should be in that top half, top 3 all the time. But and you'll see some of them thinking that and you've heard it. Dale, you've heard it, obviously, Anthony as well. Aaron, you probably as well. We were a big club, and that's that element. Were.
Yeah.
That's the key thing. Were a big club. You are still a big club, but then that were back in the day, you won trophies, you won competitions. It's a different thing.
The Premier League's got better because a lot of the teams like your Bournemouth, for instance, can go and beat a Man City or can beat an Arsenal or can beat a Man United. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, years ago, and let's go back 20 years. If Arsenal were playing Bournemouth, Arsenal would go through at Bournemouth, no problem.
Well, we were the best team in the league 20 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. So when you look at it now, it's basically it's not the same. Like it's a different level. Do you know what I mean? Whereas teams can beat each other and the league gets more compressed. Like, you've only got to look at the Premier League currently right now.
Like,
we're fucking 7 points away from Man City.
Exactly.
And we're shit. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, we've kind of answered Ravi's question here because he said,
Yeah.
you know, is it easier or harder to break into the top four? At the end of the day, in there, you've got to look at Forest.
Yeah.
No?
Look at Villa.
Yeah.
Villa.
Yeah.
You know,
I always feel like
Villa,
you get the top 3 team, but throughout the season, that 4th spot is always up for grabs, no matter what. It's always that 4th spot.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's going to be. I mean, you look at this season. Personally, I think it's going to be Liverpool. They're going to win the league. I think Chelsea second. All right, yeah, fine. I could put Arsenal third. I wanted the Premier League this season, but to me, I didn't feel that we're going to win it. So I'll put Arsenal third. And fourth, it's like what I said. It could be anybody's.
Yeah,
literally anybody. It's so tight.
What it is, you can never predict the top 6 like you could do years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago, you could literally predict roughly.
One for you, Aaron.
Maybe not get the positions right, but you can go right. Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, maybe Newcastle back in the day with Shearer and all that lot. Yeah, maybe that'd be in there. Other than that, it's very hard. Now it's a free for all. Like when you've only got to look at Aston Villa. It's only like 2 or 3 years ago, Villa were with us near enough going down. And if it wasn't if it wasn't for a VAR decision at Villa Park against Sheffield United, they would have went there. That's sad because VAR wasn't working, but you know, it's just.
I mean, Uncle's come on that. We've all got to feel sorry for lowly Liverpool at the moment because they're struggling. They're finding out to pass the ball around.
They really struggled today.
I'm glad he's come on for consolation. Thanks for coming on.
Another JD.
James has got some JD. He's going to just point down.
We've got to listen to Liverpool's problems now.
You'll be fine. You know, it's it must be hard, Uncle, to kind of wake up in the morning and think to yourself, fuck me, we're top again. What's that all about? You know, it must be hard. It must really be hard, mate.
I don't know what to say now, mate. I don't know what to say.
Don't worry. Next week, mate. Next Sunday, you got us. We will let you score 6. Don't worry about it.
You know what? It's still obviously it's gonna feel good to be at the top. Do you know what I mean? But one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to get carried away and say like, I'm gonna win it and do that. I mean, we're in that position at the day that, you know, it looks like we can win it. I would only start believing it, like, if we get into March and we're 10 points clear, I'll start believing that we can probably do it. Do you know what I mean? Because at this present stage of the day, right, Chelsea can go on a run, we can get a couple of bad results, and then also Chelsea takes over us. Do you know what I mean? So it can go either way. I'm thankful for the position that we're in at the moment. I'm thankful for that. Even today's game at the day was phenomenal. That was just a really good game. Do you know what I mean? The 3 goals that I was having a word with my guys. The 3 goals that Tottenham scored, you couldn't do nothing about it.
No.
I think sometimes that you just have to put it down to sort of, that was a good fucking goal. That was a good goal because Kulusevski's goal was good. Madison's goal was good. And Solanke's goal was good. Especially Kulusevski's goal was probably the best of the one out of the whole 3. You know what I mean? The way he just took that, volleyed it, and hit it towards the back of the net. The technique was just awesome. Do you know what I mean? But like, listen, the way we're playing at the moment, I can't complain. And you know, at the end of the day, Tone, you know, at the end of the day, I wasn't Arnie Slot's biggest fan. You know that.
I was going to say that. I was going to say
I would say, I won't lie and say, look, because he's doing well now. I say, yeah, I've always been. No, I wasn't his fan. You know what I mean? But he's convincing me. He's slowly bringing me around to that. So,
got to agree on that.
Yeah, he's worth something. Do you know what I mean? Because he's playing good football.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I hope it lasts more. I hope it lasts long. And I also hope as well, you see, what it is, we can play good football and blah, 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 blah. But this is where the owners got to step in. The owners got to back him. They have to back him.
Of course.
And we all know FSG's track record.
Well, I'm going to ask you that question because obviously, just before I'm going to ask Colin's questions, for the Arsenal boys, it must be kind of I mean, obviously, they're asking the thing, do they feel privileged that they should be there? But your manager's coming for this first season and clearly has kind of set levels. How would you feel in his one season? He wins the Premier, and also this man's been in with them for 5 years, and he's only won. Oh, sorry, 3 trophies. He's won 3 trophies, not one. 3 trophies.
Charity Shield. Times 2. No.
What a platter.
Only an imbecile say that. If any manager of a football club classifies a community shield as a trophy, you're in trouble. And yeah, that's Arsenal Football Club.
Worst press conference ever, Anthony. There's worst thing you could have said. I hope my mic isn't so bad.
He might as well have said, "Oh, well, I won the Emirates Cup." Okay, we would have ripped the piss out of him for that, but that wouldn't have been that bad. At least that's like some sort of a trophy. It's not a shield. I mean, the answer is in the title: Community Shield. It's not a trophy.
Right.
It's a shield.
But it hasn't ever been regarded as a trophy either. Since its inception, that's what I don't get.
No. I've got to correct you there, Aaron. The brother-in-law.
What, have you won it once? Have you?
No, the brother-in-law staunchly says,
"Oh God,
Dow and Anthony, you know him. Young Terence clearly states that it is a trophy."
Oh my God. Tony, you got to get him back on his meds. He's off his meds again.
He is down. He's got a poster of Arteta on his wall, and apparently the corners of it are quite sticky. They're not stuck on the blue tack.
They too much acid in the 80s or something. Whoever said that, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So yeah, there is that kind of thing.
But to that question, like for me anyway, for Aaron or Anthony, but yes, I would have him back because he's a serial winner at Sevilla, right? He won the Europa League, I think, 3 years in a row at Sevilla. He competed at PSG. He actually has a pedigree of winning trophies. He has an actual resume of silverware in his backpack. Arteta has cones that he carried for Pep in his backpack. And I get it. Arteta, I've said this, is a good coach. He knows football. He knows how to set up a team, tiki-taka, Genjin pressing, all the technical shit, right? I get that. But he's a terrible manager. His subs are horrible. The way he treats superstars is horrible. The way he treats even some of the younger kids is pretty bad, And I think Unai Emery would just bring this more of an aura of winning to the table is what I think. And he would have more of a direct way of how to win those trophies. Yeah. He would have an answer for our substitutions and not to put Thomas Partey at right back and things like that. He would know that the spine of the squad is the number one important thing, right? Keeping the spine healthy, keeping the spine energetic, and make sure that they can at least get some success from the spine of the team. And then you look outwards. I feel like sometimes Arteta tends to either look too inwards or too outwards and does stuff that's completely out of the box, right? It's either he mismanages it because he doesn't, inherently doesn't trust himself, or he just completely, just goes out of the, like I said, out of the box. It doesn't really seem to be a middle ground with Arteta, even though the results would speak otherwise, right? And like you West Ham fans are saying, like, what are you guys talking about? You're battling for the title. You've scored 15 goals. We scored 15 and conceded 4 in 3 games. And I get that, but at the end of the day, it's that Arsenal expectation. Like I expect us to be competing for things. So when he says this trophy stuff is a plate, it just completely insults the intelligence of the fan base. And that's why I think I seriously think that was one of the worst press conferences he's had as an Arsenal manager since day one. I mean, you just don't say things like that. Slot doesn't say things like that. Lopetegui doesn't say things like that.
Fucking don't know about that.
Lopetegui doesn't make the play, right? But he's not going to come out and say
go easy, son.
English is a bit broken. I get it. But the thing is that no one really said that. Like, why would you say things? And you put that into players' minds, and a lot of that shit sticks. I just think he's a good coach, but not a manager.
Just interrupt.
He would have won us 2 Premier Leagues.
Just interrupt quick. I think as well, when it comes to Arsenal, there comes to a time at the day, well, you have to stop competing and start winning. Do you know what I mean? It's all right competing for like every year you're competing for the league, competing for the Champions League and stuff. But when are you going to win it? I think that's what a lot of Arsenal fans are thinking. It's like, when are we going to win it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
True.
and like, 'cause it's not with us and everything that, right? We went through the sparring and that we went through, like, you know, in the 90s and 2000. That, but what it was, we was able to do, we was able to keep on ticking along, like picking up the old FA Cup there, picking up the League Cup here, picking up the UEFA Cup here, picking up the Champions League there. Do you know what I mean? You know, and what
It sounds so easy.
yeah, something. But what a lot of Arsenal fans, what I get from a lot of Arsenal fans is they don't want to be just completing. That's not good enough anymore. We know we are a big club. We know we got big boy players and that, yeah, right? We want to be winning shit now. We want to sort of like, we want to be the ones that they picking up the trophies. We don't be the ones that they sort of like just.
Roz, is that entitlement? Is that entitlement of our fan base? Does that come off as like we're entitled? Like we feel like we're entitled?
No. It comes down to ambition. It comes down to ambition, I think. And I think really and truly, when you look at Arsenal, right? Arsenal are a good enough club to do that, to win.
Yeah, but
do you know what I mean?
Look at Arsenal and Liverpool. Just want to say this because I've got to make a move. I've got 3% battery, and if I go down, then that's it. It's good night. First things first. When I look at Arsenal and Liverpool already made. Arsenal have been made over a period of time. Yeah, Arsenal are a side that expect now to win. That's what it is. And I'm not being funny. They're well within their rights to expect to win because they've been through the shit to get to where they are. They've been competing with City, and you know they should be expected to like try and get over the line there. No, nevertheless, Liverpool are Klopp left Liverpool in a very good place, and Arteta has had to build it over a period of time. The thing is, I don't think Arsenal fans back and believe in Arteta anymore. I think because they look at him and think we just don't see it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. You got a manager there. I've got to make a move, Tone, because I've got 3% battery. I'm slightly pissed and I'm enjoying life.
So that's the sign that is 3% battery means 3 points on Boxing Day. Surely,
Get on Southampton, lads. You know,
James, pleasure as always, mate.
I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, good health for 2025. Thank you very much, Tone, and all that, and take care of yourselves, lads. All right, that's the main thing. Do you know what I mean? Fuck all this YouTube love, like in life. You know what I mean? Take care of yourselves.
I've dropped your sub, James. Big up, man.
No worries, bruv. Yeah, anytime. And if you want to collab, we can. Take care of yourselves. All the best to you, lads. All right.
And you as well, James. Take care, mate.
Take care. Can I just throw a couple of bob on that Unai Emery sort of thing? Yeah. Go on. Go on. Yeah, of course, mate. Of course. Yeah, you run, mate.
Yeah. Come back.
Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted to chat. Yeah. If I
no. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'll make my mum a cup of tea and then come back up.
No. Make her a good one, mate. Make her a good one.
I will.
I'll have one, Uncle Rob. No sugar, stirred anti-clockwise. Is that all right?
I did coffee. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
With Unai, I agree with Dal, right? If someone said to me, would you rather Unai Emery right now over Mikel Arteta, I would say yes, for all the reasons what Dal said. But I also must say that wouldn't be enough for me because I would actually rather someone better than Unai Emery, i.e. Carlo Ancelotti, and quite like what Dal actually also said was an Inzaghi. The frustrating thing is to reshape that sort of question is sort of like, did we give Unai Emery initially enough time? It's frustratingly no. Did we give him enough backing? No. Do I think that if we'd had gave him said back and said time, would we have won something? I actually believe we would. I genuinely believe with this setup, he would have won this Premier League title the last 2 seasons if we had Unai Emery. So I've got to sort of agree with Dal on them sort of elements. Yeah, you know, it's sort of a bit of frustrating sort of thing how we've led ourselves. But as I've said with the Mikel Arteta thing and what James was sort of leaning on, we don't trust it anymore.
No, it's true.
It's 5 years now, a lot of money spent. We're in phase failure. It's time for change now. You know.
Well, I've left this one up. This is probably this.
Sorry, it's 850 million that we spent now because the Emirates are 60,000. We're on about upping it to 80,000, right? That's going to cost Arsenal £300 million plus just to up it by 20,000. Like the problem is that they want to compete with the likes of the teams that's got the bigger capacities of stadium. Tottenham, They've got a bigger stadium than us. The capacity is there is bigger. I think yours is bigger than ours, Tim. Yours is bigger than 60,000, isn't it?
Yep.
Exactly. My Old Trafford is okay. That's a shithole, but let's not go on to that. And you know, and all these other teams, you know, so they're trying to do it for the revenue. But surely, instead of spending the money on the stadium, spend the money on the team, get the team winning trophies, bring the revenue in, then up the capacity of the stadium. It don't make sense. But I think we work backwards.
Anthony, where have we been here? We've been here in 2006. We've been here.
Look, the answer staring you in the face
thing.
at the bottom there. Look,
Copy
the
and
answer's
paste.
there. Ravi's saying there, and this is probably the best comment of the night. Don't buy the food and drink at the Emirates. I was robbed blind of £10.25 for a bog standard hot dog out of a jar and a Bovril.
That's cheap. Honestly, the food there, I haven't
Aaron,
touched it in years, mate. I
when
go
I
every
first did
single
this-
home game.
Oh,
Disgusting, Tone.
When I
The
first-
food.
We did
Go on,
this
sorry,
when we
mate.
first started the Sunday night takeaway. That was the first thing we talked about was the prices that Arsenal were charging. Yeah,
yeah.
£27.10 for a beer, a steak sandwich, and then chips.
No, Tony, it wasn't a beer; it was a bottle of water.
Oh no, yes, it's £28 something for the.
So it'd have been a
beer,
fiver more for the beer then.
Cody, you see what I sent you guys in the Zesty chat? Did you guys see what I sent with the
yeah,
Phoenix Sun? $2 hot dog, $2 beer, $2 pretzels, $2 popcorn. But the guy was right. He goes,
Yeah.
"Why would your tickets be $70 for a family of 4 and the food's $100? It makes no sense." So everything's $2. The food at the NBA games, I must say, is pretty damn good.
Now, mate,
you can get a
honestly,
beer,
yeah,
hot dog for $6. That's good. That's not bad.
as you know, Dal, right? I go to it. Oh, sorry, go on, Tone. Go on, sorry.
I'll just say Craig's just on about what Matt was talking about. I believe it should be about a 25-degree angle over the training ground and part of the car park, which will give us the capacity to increase and when needed. Personally, seeing being a 25,000 seater stadium, and that's what it should be, I think, for you guys. Not kind of going back to what you're literally kind of up and by, was it 1,000, 2,000, if that, from the old stadium to the new one. It needs to be more for you guys, surely.
Yeah, but they got the money to pinch from my local team, Bristol City. I mean, like Semenyo, Alex Scott, you know, the rest of them. Bournemouth just picks our players at Bristol City.
Academy. The Arsenal Academy. Nice try there, Anthony. Come on now. Bristol Rovers, Semenyo. Was he really there?
Don't you dare, Dal. No, not Bristol Rovers. Not Bristol Rovers.
Bristol City.
Bristol,
You know their stadium at Bristol Rovers, when you look up, is the old asbestos roofing. Bristol Rovers. Honestly. And their precious Irene, I don't know where they get their Irene from. I mean, rumor has it, I think she's a prostitute of some sort. I don't know, but I mean,
not in set up, is it? Surely not.
Hey guys, I gotta run. I just got home, got the coat on still. So I've
Dal,
got
pleasure as always, and a Merry Christmas to you and yours. Have a great one on that, and look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Yeah.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Have a great Christmas, Dal.
Love you guys. Have a great holiday, and thanks for having me on the show, Tone. And I will talk to you guys soon.
Yes, take care.
Peace out.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
brother.
Just going back into some of the comments that Craig was saying, Elshie, what will be good with this, it won't impact current match day parking. I think we should be able to attract fans from across Dorset and Somerset if it is marked correctly. So that's good. It's additional. That's what you want to try and create from that. And obviously saying about here, the training ground will be made. And as I know, the one thing we're going for is a Cat 1 Academy, which will mean we can attract players who traditionally went off to Southampton due to their academies. Great. So it's all in up and onwards, which is great. Absolutely. That's what you want to see. Yeah, look, even Damon said it. Have to give credit to Bournemouth, been well run for ages.
Yeah, that's been spot on.
And Howard deserves a lot of credit for what he did at Bournemouth. Yeah, agree on that.
Yeah,
definitely.
He built the foundations. there.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, we were talking about some of the clubs where they've been in that. I mean, obviously, look, Sunderland were in League One with a massive stadium, as were Derby. Bradford are in League Two. Great stadium doesn't always equal success of a club. I mean, I was looking yesterday and thinking about when they were like in Div 1, and I think even some were in Premier. You got to look at Oldham. Oldham are now in the National League.
Yeah.
Oh, Boundary Park.
Yeah.
Boundary Park. Yeah.
I think it was I mean, remember, and then they had the plastic pitch. And who's the other mob? I mean, Charlton, League One.
Yeah.
So many clubs that have fallen down the pyramid.
Yeah.
Lots and lots
I
of clubs
remember
to go
them.
for it.
Charlton, when I was growing up watching football, they were a Premier League side. Like,
Mm.
and they always give us a bit of jiff, especially at home, didn't they? And they've done us
Yeah,
over a couple
yeah.
of times at Highbury in the
Yes, they
90s
did.
and maybe early noughties. I don't know, but definitely in the 90s they turned us over a little bit. I
Well,
just
yeah.
associate so many of them clubs with Premier League. It's madness.
I mean, Bolton was one of them. Bolton used to be Arsenal's boogie
Yeah.
team.
Oh,
Honestly.
mate, do you remember Stelios Giannakopoulos? He always used to pelt in like 30, 40 yarders against us.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
What
And
his
that
name was?
what was that other player's name? Was it Campo? The one with the fuzzy
Ivan
the
Campo,
midfielder?
yeah, from Real Madrid.
Oh,
From Real Madrid,
yeah.
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 He was.
What a player.
Like, they had some ballers at that bloody
Yeah.
at that ground. Do you know what as well? Someone, I think it was James, who said about Leeds. Man, I remember Leeds in Champions League semi-finals against Valencia. Like madness.
Yeah.
Rods with a Colgate smile. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, as David's saying, the league is crazy nowadays. Strong teams for it because they're all investing. They're all buying players. They're all getting competing each other. I think the last couple of transfer windows, bar the January ones, every team's competing to buy players that they can be up there.
But they're not footballers now, Tim. It's like what I said.
They're
I call them
athletes, aren't they?
athletes.
Yeah, because they're athletes, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. And no game in the Premier League is easy now. Seriously, none of it is easy.
True. I mean, people need to be careful they don't get too carried away with trying to find short-term answers in this climate.
Yeah, true.
And Craig's saying, here's a question. With Man City in such bad form and the 115 charges being decided on the start of next year, could Manchester City actually get relegated? There is every potential aspect that they could possibly get relegated.
But what happens to all their honours, team that they've won? Would they still be listed and they keep them? Because in all fairness,
I think if you look away the Premier or maybe the FA are trying to act, considering they've won a couple of cases so far in this, and so has Man City. I think if they had the opportunity to strip them of that, they would do that.
well, if that's the case, then they'll have to offer the Premier League to us. But I don't want it because we didn't win it. In all fairness, why would you? It's like having a hand-me-down, isn't it? Like, is somebody like hands you down a jumper when you was little and go, "Oh, you could have this." That's what that is. That's an hand-me-down. I don't want that at Arsenal Football Club. We didn't win it, so or unless it's voided, maybe voided. I don't know.
I think the thing is, though, we're all speculating. I mean, would it be beneficial for them to be relegated for the Premier League? Because what they've done there, and are you going to tarnish and damage the credibility of the Premier League by doing something like that? And the worst case scenario, you've got to think of it like this: we're all expecting that the book's going to be thrown at them, but if they find evidence to say, well, the Premier League didn't do this and this one didn't act upon that, and then before you know it, they can spin it around and it works in their favour.
Yeah.
Then it makes the whole league a non-score in itself straight away.
Yeah.
And it will. And they get the top solicitors because they got the money for it as well.
And this is where your problem's going to come.
I think they should just start off with minus points, Tone. I think they should have a heavy fine, start them off on minus points, and also they should be banned for 1 or 2 seasons in signing.
Transfer window. Yeah.
Put them in the championship. Put them in the championship. Let them fight the way back in the championship for the championship.
That'd be interesting. It would be interesting, of course, see what's going to. Like as Craig said, it's next year that the case is going to come to light, so that'd be very interesting.
I think they're going to be. They're not going to be too heavy. I think they're going to be light on them. Don't expect a heavy sort of punishment. Expect a low punishment.
It's going to be interesting what comes out of it. Ravage got a question for you, though, Rods.
Yes, mate.
Thoughts on some Liverpool fans not wanting to accept when players are coming to a natural end in this case, Robbo?
Yeah, I mean, I think Robbo should only play certain games. Only certain games he should play. Because he's got to that age now. I think he's nearly 30 or something like that, or 30. He might be 30. But he has been doing a lot of running, even under sort of like Klopp. Do you remember that at one time, him and Trent had the most assists for like, fullbacks and that in one season, like something like 14 or something like that. Like even Trent has got the most assists in Premier League history or something. That's something like 61. You know what I mean? So like, I think there comes a time when with players is either you A, limit their times,
Yeah.
or say B, say like, you know, I think you're sort of coming to the end now. We don't want to embarrass you, so you know, we're going to let you go, or you know, try and find something else for them to do, because it can get very. But it's like a boxer. It's like a boxer when a boxer comes to the end of his like of his sort of like lifetime. You know what I mean? You know, like shelf life. Do you know what I mean? But he's still
No,
fighting.
exactly.
He's still fighting. He's still fighting. I think that and getting bashed about. There's got to be somebody at the end of the day that's going to step in and say, "Nah, mate, enough's enough." You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
You're past it now. So, like, you know what I mean? But you see, Robbo today played very well. I'll give him that. He played very well today. That's why I say, like, with Robbo, there's got to be certain games that he plays and certain games that he doesn't play. You have to limit his time because he's coming to that age at the end of the day where he cannot do that running thing all the time. Do you know what I mean? And he's going to give away silly mistakes like he did the other day that got him a red card. Do you know what I mean? Even though at the day, like before at the day, the guy that this guy Diop that used to play for you lot, Diop, I mean, he fouled Robbo, and that was a red card offence. But
Yeah. I know.
Rest is history. You know what I mean?
I think, as you said, it's just that yard. When you start losing that yard of place, then you've got to kind of admit to yourself that.
Yeah. It's got to be something. There's got to be something in place to say, well, look, you know what, you're losing that yard of pace. So what we're going to do, we're not going to use you so often. Do you know what I mean? We're going to use you in certain games. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And certain games you're going to have to sit out. That's just the way it goes. Do you know what I mean? You know, because you have to protect him from himself. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you know what I mean?
No, that's true. I agree on that. Terence says, I've got a lady friend here with the ump. Apparently, I've been in here listening for a while. Apparently, we're all single. No Teka-Peka tonight.
That's my little nickname for him.
Yeah.
No Teka-Peka.
Well, at least you don't open your show tomorrow night anyway, Aaron, anyway.
Yeah. Very good point.
Not sure if Villa's technical director doesn't go on the radar at Villa. True. Big up to Frankie as well. Frankie Muss. How people are you all well? I hope you're feeling better as well, Frankie. Since the last time we spoke, I hope all good with you, mate.
Cool. Yeah, so I hope so as well.
So late to each other there, which is great. Colin saying, Tony, I've asked this before. Do you feel it is harder for a London club to win the Premier League due to having to play many London sides? I think when you look at something like that, if you look at Spurs are Spurs. I mean, like, you know, they've got a manager there that's there and thereabouts. We are kind of going through a transition, if you get the point. You've got Brentford that are very good at what they do when they're at home. You've got obviously Fulham, you know, and I'm quite surprised that Silva's still in that job actually, because normally he's 6 months and he's gone. So I'm quite surprised he's still there. But the one you've got to look out for is obviously Chelsea. That's the one.
Yeah.
And I think they're the ones you've got to look out for, because obviously, you know, and again, it comes down to the Arsenal boys. You've got obviously Slot coming in at Liverpool and doing what he's doing there, and you've got Maresca coming in and basically kind of giving Chelsea a start. And you can see the way they're playing at the moment. Who the hell was that team playing in pink? Jesus Christ, against Fulham.
That was Christ.
I'm trying to think who they played yesterday. Who's that in pink? Fucking hell. That's bad.
I think just quickly relay the point that you're saying, and this isn't from an entitled sort of sense of sort of thing. If Liverpool and Chelsea finish above Arsenal, I mean, if that isn't enough to sack Mikel Arteta, I don't know what is. And I don't mean that to disrespect Liverpool, because they deserve to be where they are, and they're a great club with excellent players there already. I'm really not going down that avenue. But what I'm saying is they've just got a new manager who's taken over from a very elite manager. Usually we see once a long-term manager's come in and then a new one comes in, it usually takes a little bit of time to get them back up there. Whereas
Yeah.
Slot's just came in and seamlessly done it. And fair dues to him. No credit, no discredit from that at all whatsoever. Liverpool absolutely deserve it. But from an Arsenal point of view, you're looking at that and thinking, how can you sort of allow this to happen? It's very frustrating to sort of watch. And again, I really want to make a point of this. There's no this sort of credit, but the Chelsea and Liverpool are playing really well. But it's bloody frustrating to sort of watch. You sit there and just think this should be us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It should be,
Okay.
but it's not, and it deservedly isn't, and it is deservedly them, which just equates to the frustration.
Because the other thing on that as well, to add on that as well, Aaron, is the fact that Pep and Maresca obviously are the graduates of the great Pep school, and obviously this one is going to be doing something that your one can't.
Yeah. It's frustrating, but fair look again. Fair dues to Liverpool and Chelsea. I think they deserve to be where they are.
Of course,
they really do. They really do.
Agree on that. Frankie's saying, talking to boxing, can Fury come good again? And I've seen your answer in that. Yeah, he's finished. I think so as well, mate.
Yeah, he's finished. He's finished.
No, talk about with all the training and this and the other and that. Retire gracefully, make your money, retire gracefully.
Yeah,
that's what
big payday. AJ v Fury, do it in Saudi Arabia. Get your last payday. Job done.
Yeah, just to say something on that. The things about Usyk and Dave, what I said to a few people, is that Usyk is just too good. He's just really too good. He reminds me of the original boxers that were good on their feet, fast with their hands, and knew what they're doing. You notice that day when Usyk gets banged and everything that, and he gets a hard punch. You notice how quick he gets himself out of trouble. You cannot pin him down. I mean, when last time AJ fought him, and it was more close than obviously in the first fight, AJ caught him with a good punch, but he couldn't follow it up because Usyk just got on his bike. He got himself out of trouble quick. Footwork. And I think
staying power is excellent as well. Yeah, he can last 12 rounds. That geezer.
Yeah, and I just think when I was listening to the fight and I looked a bit on YouTube, I just think at the day that Usyk is just too good. Do you know what I mean? You can hit him with some hard punches, but he'll come back with a fast combination at the day that will knock you back. Do you know what I mean? He's just a phenomenal boxer, and sometimes at the day you have to just say, look, you know what? I've got beaten by the better man.
Simple.
I know a guy called Andy Smith. His name's Andy Smith, and we used to do boxing together as kids and all that, right? And come up to senior and that, right? And there was two boxers that he knew, right? That he fought, and he said that even if I was at the top of my game that night, I couldn't beat them. Do you know what I mean? Because they were just too good. Sometimes you have to concede to the fact that this guy is just too good for me to beat. And there ain't no shame in it because you can't beat everybody, can you?
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Just put up your best fight, and that's it. Isn't it? It's all you can do in there.
Yeah, a bit of age has caught up with him.
Yeah, of course he is. I mean, and he's got to admit that himself. Frankie, hopefully you and the family are okay and that, and you have a good Christmas together and that.
Yes, Frankie,
they're all struggling, man. Really am. Michael, good evening to you, mate. Saints playing pink. Thank you very much, mate. I thought it was so good. The hell was that in pink? Man City finished Buff Arsenal again. Sack him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ludicrous. Liverpool have hardly spent anything. We've spent fortunes to get stick from Arsenal fans, but from day one, I never wanted him. He ain't big enough for Arsenal. Yeah, it's true for it. That's the truth. Question 4: thoughts on the new manager bounce? Is it real? I'll ask that first.
Not for United.
Well, not for West Ham. Definitely not for West Ham. There's no new bounce there at all, kind of thing. I mean, do you remember them days you used to get a bouncy ball and that from the old cheap shop and that, and he didn't bounce for fuck all, basically? That's West Ham. That's us, mate.
Now you're a floater. You're not 19 floater, aren't you? Now, do you know one of these balls you buy for £1? You kick it, and it goes the other way.
Don't disrespect the floater ball and that. It made people prima donnas when they hit that ball and that. Curve shots, swerve shots, round in circle shots.
Yeah, Roberto Carlos special, isn't it? You know what I mean? The free kick, balls all over the place.
And what's the worst thing that somebody says? Yeah, I meant that. Piss off.
Oh man, yeah, exactly, Mama. Thank you for that. I think this year is a year too early for Chelsea, but they will dominate in the next. Totally agree on that as well. Totally agree on that.
They've got a good side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Colin saying Dubois did Usk badly, and he did actually beat Usk, but it did not get the decision. Oh, do you remember back in the days? What was it, the WBO with Chris Eubank?
Oh yeah.
That man was protected to the hilt. Tell you that now, he was protected to the hilt. I remember when the first fight with him and Michael Watson. Watson beat him punch for punch, but yeah, they looked after Eubank, and and also of course they had the rematch, and we know what happened to poor Michael Watson. But Eubank, yeah.
Do you think you did? Do you remember the fight with the return with Nigel Benn and Eubank? Who do you think won that?
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
Told you, protected. The man was protected.
He won that. He won that hands down.
Yeah. I just don't call it boxing anymore. It's just like this boxing, like, oh yeah, we got a boxer fighting a YouTuber. What the hell? What's that all about? And then he's like a UFC fighter. It's two different sports. You know, it's obvious the boxer's going to win at the end of the day because he's got so bloody experience.
Yeah, exactly, Aaron.
And it's all to do with the money. But do you know who to blame is for that? Earn, yeah, absolutely. Earn is to blame for that. He's ruined the nation of boxing. I'm telling you now.
His son.
Seriously.
No, Barry. You know, Eddie's just kind of like, he's just in his dad's shadows. That's all he is.
I like him though. I like him.
He talks well. He talks well. Don't get me wrong.
Like
He's that's what he's been. He's been coached on that side of things. You can see that straight off.
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely Barry Hearn and that. And thanks to Barry Hearn and Mr. Daniel Levy in that we rent our ground and not buy it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that.
You're quid in with that tune, aren't you? You know, they're not making a profit on that stadium, what you're paying.
Tell me about it. Exactly that. Frankie saying, when are people going to say Chelsea can win the league? Yeah, it was, like I said, 2 seasons' time, possibly. They'll do that.
Yeah.
And Ravi's asking, before we're going to finish up shortly, any thoughts on Tommy Fury? Is he as good as he thinks he is? Nah. I'll go with the latter of that statement. He thinks he's too good. We've seen.
There's only one Fury in there. Yeah. All the other ones.
That's the old man.
That's
the old man.
Yeah, you had Huey Fury. He was no good at either, was he? Really? Yeah.
Terence is saying Lennox Lewis was a true heavyweight, my fave. Yet he thought the Fury fight was scored wrong. Yes, Fury lost, but by a minimum of 2 rounds. I was at the first fight that Lennox Lewis did when he came back from Canada to the UK. He fought in the Royal Albert Hall, and he was slow as anything. You know, literally, you see him. He started with swinging his arm around. By that stage, the bloke could have sat down there, put his slippers on, read the paper, got back up again, and then met the punch. That's how slow Lewis was. He was when he first came over, he was slow as anything. Yeah. But yet, he did have a bit of timber on him at the same time. He did need to lose that, I must admit.
Here, Tune, is that your owner on your jumper?
Hey?
Is that your owner, the West Ham owner on your jumper?
Yeah, Del Boy. Del Boy Sullivan. That's the one. Del Boy Sullivan, mate. Yeah, just catching up the chat. And Mark was saying, gosh, Barry Hearn has a lot of fingers in a lot of pies, that's for sure. Oh, more than you'd know.
He's got a few Bobby ears, tell you.
Yeah, Frankie, that was the one.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Watson and Ben, that was a fight and all.
Yeah, that was a good Ben. That was a good fight. Well, good fight.
So where I lived in East Ham, and that Ben lived only 2 blocks away from me. You know, I remember when he first moved in, you could hear his car from fucking miles away. The stereo.
He had an older brother, didn't he? Didn't he have an older brother?
Older brother, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Apparently he's very close to his older brother, and the older brother died or something, didn't he? Something like that. Yeah, that really cut him up, though. It really cut him up, didn't it?
It did. I think that's probably what kind of made him go into Christianity, which is quite strange for a boxer, really.
Yeah.
Did you rate Cole Froch? Cole Froch wasn't a bad boxer, was he?
He was good. He was good. It's a good fight.
Really good.
Yeah, 2 good fights with Yeah, two good fights with
Ben,
George
what's his name? George Groves. That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
yeah.
good fights with
But
him.
George Groves was good value for money, and then in the second one, he give it all to big un, didn't he, George Groves? And then
Yeah,
he
he got
just ended
put
up
in
getting slapped up.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
put in the thumb, didn't he?
yeah. He got slapped up in that second one, but it was a good first fight.
Yeah, the first one was really good.
Yeah,
It was
really good.
Do you ever remember the Harold Graham, the boxer?
Yeah.
I think I can't remember the name of the fella. I think he was a Jamaican. He fought.
No, Felix Trinidad.
And basically, Harold Graham was very gifted. He was very kind of light on his feet. And I remember his fight. He would stick his head out, and the bloke would swing a punch, and he'd knock it back, and then he'd do it again. And on the third one, unfortunately, the bloke connected with Harold Graham's chin. And do you remember the old cartoon adverts where you see the old kind of the shutters come down and all these kind of things? That's what had Harold Graham. He's clocked him one, and you just see him. The eyelids come down. No, boom.
Mate, Tony, I saw that fight on TV, right? And the biggest mistake that he made, Tony, right? He threw the same shot 3 times, like the right hand. He went bang, bang. But what happened when he threw the right hand? Yeah, the third time, before it could connect, this geezer is just gone bang like that. Hit him with a hook. He was knocked out before he hit the floor.
Yes, you can see it there. As soon as that punch connected, that's the ankle. As soon as he connected, you just see the lights go out.
Yeah, it was just gone,
boom, done. And I think that was the last we saw of him as well, wasn't it?
No, he came back and he fought again. He fought like years later.
Frankie said as well, you got sparked out, fell like a tree.
He did. Mate, I'll tell you what, right? I don't know if anybody else has seen the fight, but apart from me and Tone, when the geezer connected, lights out. It just lights out, boy. I was like, and he hit the floor, and the referee didn't even bother counting. That's how bad it was. He didn't, He just took the gun to that. He was gone, mate. And you never saw him. You never saw Harold Graham for 5 years, about 5 or 6 years. You never saw him. He boxed. He boxed a couple of fights, won a couple of fights. And I think when he lost his last fight, he just gave up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But he was actually good back in the day. He was actually good. He was fast and he can move out of trouble and that. But this night he couldn't move out of trouble. He just got clocked, mate.
That was like what's his name, Prince Nassim Hamed, isn't it? When he kind of Ravi as well. Like Ricky Hatton, he got sparked, felt like a sack of spuds versus Manny. Yeah, that's for true. That's for sure.
Yeah, he got tucked up.
Pacquiao took him apart. Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, wait, did you see that fight with not Nassim? What's the other Asian fella called? The one lately.
Oh,
Amir Khan, you mean?
Amir Khan. Did you see when he fought that Mexican guy? He fought this Mexican guy. I'm sorry, he fought this Mexican guy. His name will lose me, but he's really good. Yeah. And you you ever heard a term at the day like he got the snot knocked out of him? Like, this guy literally got the snot knocked out of him. Amir Khan literally got the snot right out of him. He hit him with his right hand, and it connected.
Is it Julio Diaz?
Canelo.
That's it. Canelo. That's it. Canelo.
Before we carry on, just want to say good night to Colin, Tony, Matt, and all you wonderful gentlemen on the panel. I'll say good night to you. For all I have to do is some care cleaning treats for my friend. Big up to you, Colin, as well. I love being and listening to you guys. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Colin, and to your mate. Yeah. And hope you have a good one. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the new year, mate. But Colin,
God bless you, Colin.
You know, big up, Colin, mate. Big up.
He literally got the snot out of him.
The snot out of him. Luca, good to see you, Luca. Hope you're keeping well.
Big up, Luca.
It has been a long time, mate. It has been a long time. I hope everything's good for you as well. Terence Steiner, mate. Nigel Benn, when he went down to a photo shoot with Thomas Beckett. Remember that place? The most coldest eyes, yes. Answered questions very quickly, but it was never disrespectful. Lots to love that man. Absolutely. He was a good, diamond good fella.
It's a boxing club, wasn't it?
Why does no one want to fight a Coley?
Very famous one.
No idea on that.
Yeah, very famous.
Idea what. Yeah. Sorry, Becoli. The boxer you think about is Julian Jackson. Thank you, mate. Merry Christmas and good night to everyone in the chat. Absolutely, he is a machine. Merry Christmas to you as well, Luca, as well. Julian Jackson. You're going for all the names here, Terence. If anyone wants to laugh and some serious criticism on United, check out Sai's match reaction. It's on fire. I'll have to have a look at that later. Yes, the Mexican. Yes, I watched the fight as well. He was trying to get the referee to stop the fight and got caught. Yes, he did. Stay safe, Colin. And do you think Liverpool will win the league? Yes, we think we all agree that they will win the league. And on that note, we are going to turn it in for the night. Gentlemen on the panel, thank you very much for sticking around with us. People in the chat, especially people in the chat, appreciate you being with us, etc. Uncle, it's been a long time.
Listen, it's been my pleasure because, listen, whenever I come on your show, we always have interesting chats and around some good people, you know what I mean? And like yourself and others, you're all great. Trust me, we're all great. I remember we had a show sort of like a couple of months ago, and it was supposed to be a short show, and we just went on for hours, and your mate come on as well, and we was all talking. Listen, you are a G, and everybody on the panel, happy Christmas. And I want you to do something for me. Give your wife and your loved ones a big hug for me for Christmas and tell them it's from Uncle Rod's. Do you know what I mean? Look after your family and happy Christmas to everybody.
Now I know he's been coming round the ass.
Yeah. I see my dog take my slippers to another house. I think.
Fabian,
Bristol's too far for me, mate. Sorry.
I know.
Merry Christmas, Matt, and Merry Christmas to the panel and all in the chat, and a Happy New Year. Same for you as well. Thanks, chat. Merry Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you, Uncle Rod. It's a long time. Hope you're okay. Merry Christmas as well. And Frankie's also saying the same thing. Love to you all. Merry Christmas. And yeah, on that final note, Happy Christmas. Yep, Craig, same for you as well, mate. You could have come on, but I don't know why you didn't want to show your face. You're not that bad looking, mate. We've seen you on a few shows with Chris.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is indeed.
Great guy, Craig. Great guy.
Yeah.
And I like the show when they do in the pubs with Ian and Chris from Leicester Till I Die TV when they're in the pub together. And they're just they're there just drinking, talking about their football teams, and they're just taking the piss out of one another and having a laugh. And I tell you what, is a brilliant show to watch.
It is. Hey, look, the best Christmas film on Die Hard.
Yes.
Oh, it's on tonight. Yeah, it's on now. Is it Channel 4?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it a Christmas film though? Is it a Christmas film? I reckon it is. We had this discussion Wednesday, didn't we, Ting?
Did.
I think it is.
Yeah, and Die Hard 2.
Definitely that. Yeah, that as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But gents, thanks for being around with us and that. And I hope you all have a great Christmas and obviously a happy New Year. We will return back in the new year. Obviously with me, Anthony and Fuzzy for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And obviously we'll be back on doing this show again. Come from in there. And Matt saying, no, a Christmas film. And Craig saying, I'm a big softie. Give me the holiday any day, mainly for Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
She ain't too bad.
But if you guys in the panel, if you want to say Merry Christmas to people and that, and then we'll come off. We'll hang off.
Listen, Merry Christmas to everybody. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. And hope you have a great Christmas. Happy New Year. Love you guys to the max, man. Love as always. Love as always.
Indeed.
Yeah. No, I echo that as well. So, sorry, Andy. Just quickly say, no, it's a great channel. Myself and Craig, really appreciate you guys' support with our channel as well. And obviously, we've worked with Uncle Rod's before, and
great
E20, and a few others that come on here. Jose, who we've met, through you guys. So, long may it continue into 2025, and hopefully next time you might get lucky, and I'll send James Corden along to join you guys. So, in all seriousness, it's a great channel, and thanks for having us on, and thanks for your support.
No, you're most welcome, mate. You're most welcome. And Aaron, the newbie out of all of us, keep your show going, mate. It's doing really well for itself.
Yes.
Got some great people on there. And
Yeah,
your old man tomorrow night. That's going to be an interesting one. That will be an interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how I was going to go. It depends sort of what Tekka wants to go. Hopefully, don't bring that pecker with him. Do you know what I mean? He can keep that in his trousers if he's going to have a, have a decent little show with me. Yes, it's all right. I'm looking forward to it. As long as he's well behaved. I see him in the chat putting some boisterous comments in. I don't know where I get my boisterous comments from. I'm gonna blame the dad, Terence Knowles. It's your fault. But yeah, looking forward to it. Merry Christmas, obviously to you, Dad. I'm sure I'll see you very soon. But I just wanted to say as well, Tone, always respect for allowing me on your platform. Uncle Rod's big up, man. It's the first time I've been on stream with you. Seemed like an absolute lovely geezer. Fair dues to Liverpool. I'm sure you're going to win the league. Matt, I've been on stream with you before. And ultimately, I've got a little soft spot actually for Bournemouth. If I'm being honest with you, I go there quite regularly throughout the year. It's a lovely place, and I'm so glad that you're doing well for yourself. So yeah, big up to you, man. Hope you have a lovely Christmas, Uncle Rods, and obviously likewise as well, Ralph. Big up to you as well, and everyone in the chat, of course. This is a great platform and what Tone has on this show. It's one of my favourite shows. It's not technically an Arsenal one, and Tone's West Ham. It's a fantastic platform. So please give a like and a subscribe in the chat. It's well worth it. It's well worth it. And check his other content out and these other great content creators as well. They've got some fantastic stuff.
Yeah,
give them a like and stuff, boys. And Merry Christmas to you all, of course.
Merry Christmas.
Brilliant. And on that note,
Tony, before I go,
yes, mate.
You do me a favour. Can you put Aaron's link in the DM me his link on Instagram?
I'll do that.
And I'll subscribe to his channel. I hate subscribing to his channel. You know what
I mean? And likewise, mate.
Yeah. We all got to support each other. And on that note, happy Christmas. God bless you all.
Good. And look, I mean, Michael Chelsea said, if Tottenham had come on my YouTube channel, I wouldn't have met any of you guys either. It's great. I know you guys now. Absolutely, Michael. And the same thing as well. Appreciate that. 100. Well done, Dermot. And Frankie in there, and then from there we'll say goodnight and play out the outro. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and have a happy New Year. Merry Christmas.